success tonight. That's something that Everett coaching staff really needs to. They need to figure out who the flat defender is and tell them.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Everett Memorial Stadium in Everett, Washington, here on STSPN.com. And I'm Mark Aucutt with Luke Winsor, bringing you Everett Rain football, as tonight they host the Portland Fighting Shockwave right here on STSPN.com. And it is a beautiful day. Every day is a beautiful day for football as far as we're concerned. And so we are certainly glad to have you tuned in to the streaming webcast here on STSPN.com. And Luke, let's set the stage for this. First of all, good evening, and here we are.
Good evening, and it's a little weird to be in a football stadium Monday in April, but the NFL draft was this weekend, so I've already kind of gotten that mindset as it is. But yeah, great evening for football. You have Everett versus Portland. You have a nice little regional I-5 rivalry going on, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, and you had an opportunity to see the Everett Rain back earlier in the year. That was at French Field in Kent as they played against the Seattle Majestics, also broadcast here on STSPN.com. And what did you take away from that game that they played against the Majestics?
The one takeaway that I really came away with, defensively, Everett's not bad. You look at the score, yeah, they gave up 34 points, but a lot of that was the offense put them in the defense in some tough positions. So defensively, they're not bad. Their offense does have some catching up to do, though.
Let's take a look at the officials for our game coming up today. They're standing out there on the field. The officiating crew, referee David Sather, umpire is Omar Kordahi, linesman is Bob Zamora, line judge is Scott Pattison, and the back judge is Seth Neeson. Those are your officials for today's game, and let's take a look at the starting lineups. As we did get word, Luke, we were watching out there for the coin toss, that Portland won the toss, and they will receive, so they will be on offense to begin with. And for the Portland Fighting Shockwave, they have 6 players that play on both sides of the ball, 5 for the Everett Rain. And offensively for Portland, it would be starting at left tackle, number 99, Tara Krugel. Also, left guard will be Stephanie Alimafutali. And the center is Jenna Castro. Right guard is Kelsey Scrudlin. Right tackle, Victoria Lopez Redford. Tight end, Tess Bear. Wide receiver, Simon Shepard. Also wide receiver, Nicole Villarino. Quarterback is Holly Petrie. Running back, Rebecca Dawson. And fullback, Jessica Gertis. That is the offensive unit for Portland. Krugel, Alimafutahi. Also, it is Castro, Scrudlin, Lopez Redford, Bear, Shepard, Villarino, Petrie, Dawson, and Gertis. Now, looking at things on the defensive side of the ball for the Everett Rain, free safety, Amelia Carr. At strong safety, Keena Hopkins. The cornerback is Marquita Johnson. Another quarterback is Nia Thomas. Linebackers, Nikki Pelham. Also, Casey Cornist. And it is Stelly Schlachter, as well as starting the linebacker, Leanne Lehman. Nose guard is Pat Winningham, and the left end is Brandy Ride, and right end is Sarah Cooper. So they're putting out the starters there on the field for you right now.
Yeah, again, very good defense. Stats may not show it from the Seattle game because of all the tough positions they put in, but they're very aggressive, especially up front. They had a good pass rush, and they do a good job really on their front four stopping the run and getting after the quarterback.
And each quarter is 15 minutes, and so we got plenty of football to bring your way here on STSPN.com. Everett Memorial Stadium, a large capacity. All the seats are across the way from where we're at here, and we have a good vantage point over on the east side of the stadium up on the 3rd floor, and a fully insulated booth, which we actually use for a number of sports here at Everett Memorial Stadium. But I think they can seat about 7,500 to 8,000 across the way, and some people are filing in right now. Down in front of us, you see the Portland Fighting Shockwave come in, and Portland comes into the game on top in the division. That is the American Conference of the Women's Football Alliance. They are in first place in the Pacific North Division out of the Pacific region. You've got Portland on top at 3-0, then the Seattle Majestics at 3-1, Tacoma Trauma 1-2, Southern Oregon Lady Renegades are 1-3, and the Everett Rain are 0-2. So they're looking for that first victory. Not going to be easy today. Portland is a team that puts up a lot of points on the scoreboard. They have scored 118 points in those 3 games, averaging 39.3 per game. They average allowing just 3.7 per game. That's a big differential, and Everett's going to have to do what they can to shut that down.
Well, if your defense is only allowing just over a field goal a game, it doesn't matter much what your offense does. You're going to be doing pretty well. So the trick for Everett is just find a way to move the ball and get some confidence against this stingy defense.
We are going to take a pause for the national anthem break. And again, you are viewing on the webcast here on STSPN.com, your home for Everett Rain football. Welcome back. We are here at Everett Memorial Stadium on a beautiful last day of the month in April. Mark Aucutt with Luke Winsor, Debbie Larson here, and they're doing a full starting lineup for the Everett Rain. This is their home opener, so they are entertaining their fans coming out here today on this beautiful sunny day. We've had some amazing weather, Luke, to get things rolling here in the spring. I mean, a couple weeks ago, it felt like the middle of July.
What April showers?
Yeah, and then the April showers, too,
Yeah, we have had a few of those, but this has been one of the warmer Aprils I can remember, and I'm not complaining.
No, and the Everett Rain coming out here fully ready to get going against this Portland Fighting Shockwave which is a combination of teams. There was the Fighting Phillies down in Portland and the Shockwave, and they merged to form the Fighting Shockwave to make everybody happy nickname-wise. And so there they are. They're down there on the field as the Everett Rain also getting set for today's action. And you have the dance team and cheer team out there for the Everett Rain as well. We're going to have an interview later on in the broadcast with former Seahawk and 7-year NFL veteran Joe Tafoya. Will be joining us, and so looking forward to that. As we bring you the full package here on STSPN.com. And it's interesting to see as women's football growing, more women getting more involved in it. You see a lot of veteran experience on the Portland Fighting Shockwave. The Everett Rain, a team that doesn't have as much experience, but they are developing, and games like this do to help you develop and get better at what you're doing.
And one of the ways you get better is you play against teams that are better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And for Everett, are they expected to win? You know, if you just go by standings and all the numbers on paper, no. But you get better by playing against people who are better than you, and this is all valuable learning experiences for down the road, for maybe next year or the year after, when hopefully their experience and they'll get even more better turnout and better athletes, and they'll and that'll help them get better.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take another break. We'll be back with more right here on STSPN.com. Our coverage of the Everett Rain against the Portland Fighting Shockwave here at Everett Memorial Stadium on this beautiful final day of April 30th, 2016. Mark Aucutt, Luke Winsor, Debbie Larson on statistics will return with play-by-play action coming up. Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us here on STSPN.com, our coverage of women's professional football from the Women's Football Alliance. It is a league with a lot of teams in it, and pretty cool team nicknames, too. We'll talk about that as we move along here this evening. And then you have the 5 in the Pacific North Division, which is in the Pacific region, which is encompasses 3 divisions. There's also the Mountain West Division, the Pacific South Division. And again, to go through those teams, Portland Fighting Shockwave, they're on top at 3-0, and they're 2-0 at home, 1-0 on the road. The Seattle Majestics at 3-1, they play out of French Field there in Kent. And then you've got the Tacoma Trauma, they're 1-2. Southern Oregon Lady Renegades 1-3, and the Everett Rangers playing 2 games so far. They are 0-2. And Luke, they are getting set for the kickoff down below. The Everett Rain color scheme is they've got the black uniforms with the green helmets, white numbers and letters for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. White uniforms with the black numbers, black helmets as well. They got a red combination in there as too. So we are getting ready for football here. Our chance to witness together women's football here in the Women's Football Alliance at Everett Memorial Stadium. And the temperature is outstanding, around 70 degrees, just right. And the sun is going to set down towards us as in our eyes in a little bit. But right now we are got a good vantage point to see what's going on.
And the Everett color scheme, it reminded me of another team that plays here in the fall.
Yeah, the Jackson Timberwolves
Yes.
have a very similar color scheme. Getting set to kick off for the Everett Rain will be Keena Hopkins. Hopkins set to kick off to 2 deep women in the back there. We'll call them deep men. And that's at the 20-yard line for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. For them, back deep is Erin Miller and also Nicole Villarino. And they're set to take the kickoff as it's going to be held for the kicker. That is Tina Hopkins, and we're set to go here at Everett Memorial Stadium. The officials, David Sather, Omar Kordarhi, Bob Zamora, Scott Pattison, and Seth Neeson. And we are set for action, 15 minutes on the clock. Again, Portland 3-0, Everett 0-2. They're looking for that first victory, and the kickoff is in the air. It's going to be taken by one of the deep men at the goes for it. It's batted away, and good defensive play down there and chasing it down. One of the players for the Reign. That was a nice hand poking through there and forcing that ball back. There was a hesitation by that deep man, Erin Miller, and it was Amelia Carr coming through, tapping that football away, and it pushes it back a few yards, and they're going to start at the 28-yard line. Portland at their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10, and we are underway here at Everett Memorial Stadium.
Good hustle by Carr. That would have been huge if she could have recovered that and gotten the ball for Everett. A turnover to start the game against the team that's in first place. A great way to get some momentum.
Jenna Castro is at center for Portland. At quarterback is Holly Petrie. She's in the shotgun right now. 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and will take the snap coming up here on a long count. And there's the snap. Petrie drops back to the 20-yard line, goes to the air. It's going to be incomplete. Missing on the pass that time on the incompletion was Simone Shepard. It actually looked like a catchable ball. It was a little bit low, but there was good coverage on her.
A little bit low, a little bit behind. There's a simple, very basic concept. They ran 2 receivers vertical, ran Shepard underneath to create some space. She was open. The ball was just a little bit on her back hip. She still could have caught that, though.
So that goes as an incompletion. It is 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 28-yard line of Portland. Again from the shotgun, same formation with the receivers, 3 right, 1 left, and a lone tailback to the left of the quarterback. Petrie drops back, going to the air once again, and that's not going to find anybody. The intended receiver that time was Tess Bear. Bear was looking for a penalty off a push-off from Nikki Pelham, but not going to get one. That's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 10 from the 28 of Portland.
Well, when the pass is about 8 to 9 feet over your head, that you're not going to get the penalty.
That's right.
So, you try as you want to get the penalty. You're not going to get it on that one.
3rd down and 10 as they're going to talk things over in the huddle. And once again, coming up is the center, Jenna Castro. Yeah, she heads back now. They want to make sure they're all on the same page. Castro making her way up. You also have a good-sized guard on the right side. That's Victoria Lopez at 5'1", 210. Now directly behind center. There's Petrie. Going to hand off the football. This time is to Rebecca Dawson. To the 30. To the 35. And just stacked up and then finally taken down at the 37-yard line. A gain of 9 yards. They're going to be short of the 1st down. And now, Luke, early in the game, clock running, 14:32 to go in the 1st quarter. What do you think they're going to do here?
Well, like I said, we have an injured Everett player. They're asking for the trainer. But I think it looks like they're going to go for it. When you have a defense that's giving up only a little over 3 points a game, you trust them to even put them in situations like this on your own end. So it looks like they are going to go for it.
4th down, 1 yard to go. Tight formation. They're over on the near side of the field. Wide out on each side, and they're in the I formation. A little movement on the right guard side, but the handoff is going to be successful. That's going to Jessica Gertis, the fullback, and she's got enough for the 1st down. Brings the football out to about the 42-yard line and gets the job done there from the 37-yard line. So a pickup of 5 yards for Gertis, and she is at a community college in the Oregon area. And that is going to bring up 1st down, the first down of the game for Portland.
I thought I saw a little movement by the right guard too, but the refs didn't see it. Good push by the offensive line.
1st down, 10 yards to go from the 42-yard line. Same formation as the last time. Petrie's going to hand the football off. And over off the left side, Dawson finding a hole. Going to take it across midfield to the 49-yard line. That is a pickup of 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1 yard to go as Dawson carried the football for those 9 yards.
Great push by the offensive line led by Aucutt.
It's not easy.
We're going to butcher that all night, I have a feeling.
Well, we're going to keep working on it, and hopefully we'll get it right.
The left guard spot. They just got behind her, and the fullback led the way.
8 yards officially. She didn't get a good spot on that. They're going to move it back to the 50. And so same formation here, which we'll talk about in a second. They were more of a spread offense to begin with. Now from the I formation, there was movement there on that play, and a flag comes from the sideline. That would be our first penalty of the game.
Okay, we got dead ball.
And that is going to be a false start registered against Portland. It's going to move the ball back 5 yards to the 45-yard lines. Rules are the same.
Rules are the same.
Makes it great. This is like the NFL. They play 15-minute quarters.
And on that play, the fullback, number 37, Gerda, she jumped a little early, got a little too anxious to throw that lead block, and it cost her team 5 yards.
So it'll be first down, 15 yards to go from the 45-yard line. 3 wide right, 1 to the left, lone setback. Now dropping back into the shotgun will be Petrie. And to her left is Dawson as the lone running back. Takes the snap. Got some protection up front, goes to the air, and finds Shepard. Simone Shepard makes the catch across midfield, and it looks like she's got enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot it. It looks like they're going to take it to the 48-yard line, so that is a pickup of 7 yards right there.
Same route concept as on the first play of the game. Run the 2 inside receivers vertical, run the number 1 receiver on the outside underneath that. Pelham, the linebacker for Everett, she recognized it right, but just not in time, and was unable to make a play on the ball. Good throw and catch for the first down.
Second first down for Portland on this drive. First down, 10 yards to go from the 48-yard line. Now they flip over to the far side of the field, the wide side of the field. There are 3 wide receivers, 1 to the right, lone setback. Petrie at quarterback. Takes the snap, going to hand it off. This time it goes to Dawson. Dawson doesn't find any running room, and she is stacked up, shut down at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down and 10.
Good play there by the Everett defensive line. It was number 67, Sarah Cooper, recognized the play and collapsed on that side. Was able to get in the backfield make the tackle for little to no gain.
Second down, 10 yards to go at the 48-yard line of the Everett Rain. Running room out to the left side. That's where they're putting that trip set. This time they put the running back Dawson out of Clark College to the right of quarterback Petrie. Here comes the snap. She drops back, looking to her left, looking, going to go to the air. Partially deflected there. That's a forward pass. Getting her hand on the football was Brandy Ride. It's going to go as an incompletion and bring up third down. 3rd and 10 from the 48 of Everett. And this will be a big stop right here if they can get it.
It'd be big for momentum just to get their defense off the field, get them rested, get the offense back on. Good rush there by Ride, and also Cooper again. It was also in the backfield. Was able to create a lot of pressure, force a bad throw, and actually get the hand on it.
So 3rd down and 10, 11:04 to go in the first quarter here at Everett Memorial Stadium. Mark Aucutt with Luke Winsor on STSPN.com bringing you the action. Our executive producer is Todd Elvig. Handoff. That's going to go for a gain right there. Carrying the football is Kiki Duran. Duran keeps going and going to the 32-yard line. A pickup of 16 yards for Duran, and that will be a first down for Portland. They're going to back her up a yard. We'll have to watch these guys pretty close. That's a couple of times where they change the spot on us. So it is going to be a 15-yard gain for Duran, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line, the 3rd first down of this drive for Portland with 10:47 left to go in the first quarter here at Everett Memorial Stadium.
Great run by Duran. I didn't see who it was exactly for Everett, but the safety came up, and Duran just ran her over.
Wideouts on each side. Got back split behind the quarterback, Petrie. Long count, handoffs, and again, that is going to be Duran, and she gets positive yardage, taking the ball to the 26-yard line. A gain of 6 yards on the play that time. And Portland just grinding it out, nice and patient. Their offense obviously clicking in the right direction. Not so much the passing game, but the running game is working for them.
I think they're starting to recognize that they have an advantage up front, and they're going to try to exploit that. That play right there, it was another fullback dive to Duran. And also, what I noticed is the quarterback then carried out a fake like they might be setting up a triple option. So
you now have a second down and 4 yards to go for that first down. They need to get to the 23-yard line. There's a handoff, and this time it's going to go to Dawson. Dawson cut left and cut back in towards the middle and gets the first down, moving the ball to the 18-yard line. Excellent job that time, a gain of 8 yards for Rebecca Dawson. Dawson is out of Clark College, 5'6", 150 pounds, and she has 15 years experience playing women's football.
That's a lot at any level.
Absolutely. So she is a very seasoned veteran. You got a first down. It's the fourth first down of the game for Portland. Backs in the I formation. Wideouts on each side. 1st and 10 from the 18. Play fake and a pitch. Back it goes to Dawson. Dawson's not going to get too much on that. I think she's going to end up with, let's see where they officially spot this here. I think she's going to get 2 yards on that. So she's going to take it to the 16. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go. So even on the play that didn't do a whole heck of a lot, they still picked a couple of yards up off of it.
Nice play by Pelham that time for Everett from her linebacker spot. She played quarterback to pitch. She didn't bite in on the dive fake at all. They were able to get to the pitch man in time to prevent a big gain.
It is 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the near hash mark to us. Running room out to the left. There's a wideout way over there. And the back's off and the quarterback. This time the handoff goes. Dawson's going to turn the corner to the 10. Zone touchdown, Rebecca Dawson. Taking it in from the 16-yard line on the 2nd down and 8 play. And Portland is on the scoreboard with 8:39 left to go in the first quarter. Rebecca Dawson carrying the football, and Luke, break it down.
That was an outside zone to the left side. Great block by the tight end on the edge. Bear seal it off, allowed Dawson to get to the get upfield on the outside. And once she got put her foot down and got upfield, no one's going to touch her.
All right, with the hold right here is Holly Petrie. And now they're going to switch around. They're going to go, it looks like, for 2 points.
Swinging gate.
Swinging gate. They switch the offense around. Going now to the air is Petrie. That's going to be knocked down. Good defensive play over there by the Everett Rain. And they will not get the 2 points. It's going to stay at 6-0. 2-point conversion, no good. And we're going to go ahead and take a break as the touchdown coming for Portland. And the break brought to you by Marysville Honda. We'll be back with more here on STSPN.com.
Into Honda of Marysville for the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage galore. Check out the latest offer and save big. Visit us and explore our huge inventory of quality Honda models or view all current offers at hondaofmarysville.com. Our goal is to ensure that our customers are satisfied not only at the time of purchase, but as long as they own their vehicle. When you do business with Honda of Marysville, life gets better.
O'Brien.
Again, thank you to Honda of Marysville, part of the O'Brien Auto Group. We appreciate their sponsorship of Everett Rain football. And right now, the Portland Fighting Shockwave to kick off. With the kickoff is Tess Bear, and it's going to be knocked down and get out of the fingertips of Casey Cornish. Cornish picks it up to the 45 and then brought down on the ankles at the 49-yard line. So she chased it down, Luke. Fortunately, she was able to get the football after touching it and picks up a pretty decent gain to get things set the table there at the 49-yard line.
She was one broken tackle from really breaking a big one there, Mark. What I did not like to see, though, is how she carried the ball way wide from her body. Someone will need to talk to her about that, and that's a fumble waiting to happen.
Sun is setting, and it's still got a ways to go before it gets behind the grandstand, the main grandstand over there on the west side of the field. But, boy, that can be blinding for us. Reminds me of we did a game on radio in 2012. Yeah, you got your shades on. I'm digging mine out, too. But we had quite a heat wave in here back in 2012 on it was Fox Sports 1380.
It was our very first game.
Our very first game together.
And we had to share a phone, too.
Yeah, it basically cooked some of our equipment. And now here's the Everett Rain on offense for the first time. Luke, great field position for them to get started.
And for an offense that struggled, they really need to get something going.
At quarterback for them is Michelle Walsh. Walsh goes to the air, got a completion, and that is going to go to Shania Holland. Holland across midfield and taken down at the 46-yard line. That is a gain on the completion that time of 5 yards, and it brings up 2nd down and 5, and the ball is going to be at the 46-yard line of Portland. Nice way to start things off.
Yeah, that's a great way to start things off. Get to your best target, Holland. I guess earned some postseason honors last year at tight end. So get her going early. Get the Walsh's confidence going early. That can really help the offense.
Long huddle. Now they will break from that and get set to go. Out of the far hash mark, running room out to the left side. They have a wide out on each side and backs in the I formation behind the quarterback, Walsh. Walsh is going to play fake on the first one and hand off to the second person through. That's Nikki Pelham. And Pelham really not getting much on that. A half a yard at best. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 5 to go.
Pelham had a hole initially there, but it closed off real quickly. Great team pursuit overall by the Portland defense. Just they recognized the play, sniffed it out, and got to the football.
Make it a short 5. It is just inside the 46-yard line. 7:15 left to go here in the first quarter, so we're a little past the halfway point here on STSPN.com. Mark Aucutt, Luke Winsor, Debbie Larson on statistics. Ball still set at the far hash mark, running room out to the left side. Back stay in the I formation. Wideouts on each side. And the long count. There's a toss sweep. And carrying the football will be Pelham once again. She's not going to find any running room, Luke. If she gained a foot, that's a miracle. Simone Shepard, tight on the tackle. Shepard out of Regis University, shuts her down. And Shepard's another veteran. She's played 10 years in this league.
So she's seen pretty much everything that you can see that this league has to offer. She came flying up from her safety spot, recognized the toss sweep right away, filled the alley, made a good form tackle to stop Pelham for no gain.
That's going to bring up now 4th down. Ball is just outside the 45-yard line. They have a long 4 yards to go, and they're going for it. It is 6-0. Portland leading. They scored with 8:39 left here in the first quarter. Lots of football left here on STSPN.com, and the home opener for the Everett Rain. From the shotgun, it is Walsh. Walsh goes to the air. She's got a completion. Nice catch over there. Making the grab that time is Shania Holland out of Edmonds Woodway High School to the 39-yard line, and she's got enough for a 1st down. An excellent job that time, picking up 6 on the completion, and that'll be the first down of the game for the Everett Rain.
That just looked like a simple hitch to the sticks play call there, where you just tell all your receivers, go about a yard past the 1st down marker, turn around. Whoever's open is going to get the ball, and that's what it was. Good pass by Walsh to her favorite receiver.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line, and you're having a play brought in from the sideline by Walsh. She's from Minot State University, and you get to see a lot of these players from around the country, not just Northwest schools, but other schools from various parts of the United States.
Minot State all the way out in North Dakota.
It is now 1st and 10 from the 39, a shotgun again. There's a penalty flag on the near side. Handoff this time goes to Brandy Ride. Ride tries to break it over on the right side. Doesn't really get much, but again, a flag on the play. There's only been 1 penalty so far called in the game, and that was a false start against Portland on their first drive, first and only drive.
2 flags on that play, and also every player looks like is down. But I don't think Everett was set off offensively, so I think there's going to be a legal procedure, and then the umpire threw a flag in the direction of probably be a hold.
So the officials are talking things over right now. We will also be broadcasting the Everett Rain game coming up on May 28th.
All right, we got 2 fouls. We got
Indication.
9 on the line here, and we got holding here. They're going to take holding here. Repeat 1st down.
It is going to be a holding call. So they're going to repeat 1st down.
Yeah, there's the 2 penalties, the legal procedure, which they decline. They'll accept the holding because it's 10 yards instead of 5. But right now the big concern is the injured Everett player, who still can't tell who that is, but she's been down a couple minutes now.
Taking a look at how things have gone for the Portland Fighting Shockwave so far. They opened up at home against the Southern Oregon Lady Renegades and won that game on April 9th, 29-8. And then on April 16th, they also hosted the Seattle Majestics. Big win right there, 40-0 over Seattle. They played again on last Saturday, April 23rd, and that was at the Southern Oregon Lady Renegades, and they came away with a big 49-3 victory. Again, they've only allowed 11 points this year.
First down.
So after the holding call, they're going to repeat first down, which would make it 1st and 20. 1st and 20 from the 49-yard line.
And I believe the injured player was Brandy Ride, the fullback and also the starting defensive end. So so hopefully it's not a serious injury because it could be a big loss for them.
Clock running here in the first quarter, 4:54 left to go. A 6-0 lead for Portland. From the shotgun again, there's an inside handoff, no running room. That time getting the football was Pelham, and she comes in at 5 feet, 134 pounds, and the tackle by Crystal Steinmuller out of Portland State University. A loss of 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 22.
Everett tried to run an inside zone out of the spread, and Steinmuller from her linebacker spot read it right away and flew up into the backfield for the tackle for loss. And when you're struggling as an offense, any negative play, whether it be a penalty or a tackle for loss, really just it hurts. It's amplified even more.
2nd and 22. 2 wideouts to the left side, 2 to the right. 1 back offset to the left of the quarterback. Dropping back is that quarterback, Walsh. Walsh looking to the air. She got plenty of time and an incomplete pass. She crossed the middle at that pass that time to Shania Holland out of Edmonds Woodway. And that is going to go as a incompletion for 3rd down. It'll bring up 3rd down and 22 from the 49-yard line of Everett.
Not a lot of plays in the play, but for 3rd and 22.
Yeah, it's true.
She tried to hit Holland on a drag route across the middle, but her feet just weren't quite set and caused an errant throw behind Holland, and it was lucky that it wasn't intercepted because there was a lot of Portland defenders in the area.
3rd down, 22 yards to go. They need to get that ball quite a ways down to the 31-yard line. They're going to officially mark it 3rd and 21. So here we go with the snap coming up. Taking it in the shotgun is Walsh. Going to air it out, looking down the right sideline, and it's going to go as an incompletion to bring up 4th down. The intended receiver that time for Everett, let's check and see here. It looks like Amelia Carr was the deep receiver they were shooting for that time and could not complete it. So it's 4th down and 21.
And look, they had 2 receivers in the air, so it was kind of hard to tell who Walsh was throwing to. But they were just running vertical routes, hoping to get one of them to break free and for Walsh to be able to find her.
Back deep the Rain are going to go into punt formation. Back deep for Portland is Nicole Villarino.
If ever can get a good,
going to need a decent punt to get it back there.
Good punt and a good roll.
And that one almost blocked. Getting off the punt that time was Amelia Carr. And it's going to go out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 3:46 left to go here in the first quarter. Portland leading 6-0. Their second drive is coming up. And we'll take a quick break here on STSPN.com. Welcome back. We are live at Everett Memorial Stadium, and the shadows creating a bit of an effect there. There's a play fake. Going to go with a reverse this time. And getting the football is Villarino. Villarino taken down, though, for a loss on the play as they started out at the 39-yard line. That's going to be looks like about a 2-yard loss. Line up, and it'll take actually a 1-yard loss. It's going to take it to the 38-yard line.
Great job by Pelham staying home, not biting on the dive fake to the fullback. Then they faked the dive, then hit Villarino on an end around. Pelham stayed at home and was ready to make the tackle.
So we are now looking at a 2nd down and 8 yards to go. So they're going to say that she gained a couple yards on that play. 2nd down and 8 as the ball is at the 38-yard line. From right behind center, taking the snap will be Petrie. Petrie's going to hand it off, and no running room right there. Getting the handoff that time was Dawson. Good job by Casey Cornist out of Everett Community College.
Portland tried to run the old counter trey that was made famous by the Washington Redskins back in the day. The corners read it from their linebacker spot and did what a lot of people refer to as a run-through. We're just finding a gap in the line of scrimmage, running into the backfield. It's not a design blitz, but just a good read by a middle linebacker to make the tackle.
3rd down, 9 yards to go. Ball's at the 37-yard line. 2:17 left to go, first quarter. Portland leading Everett 6-0. 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation. Petrie at quarterback calls for the ball and looks to the right. Going to keep the football now to the 35 to the 40. Run into some trouble right there. Now gets around it to the 40, 45, 50, and finally goes out of bounds after crossing midfield. Big first down right there. Wow, that turned out really well.
It started out almost disastrous for Portland. Everyone was covered. Good pass rush from Everett. Petrie was able to break out of the pocket, and it looked like an Everett defender had her dead to rights for what would have been a minimal gain. Petrie was just able to outrun her to the corner and get a big play.
So Petrie picks up 17 yards on the running play, a first down, and that is the 5th first down of the game for Portland. Make that 6th first down for Portland in this game, and they're now down at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Fighting Shockwave. Petrie at quarterback, standing back at her own 49-yard line. Trip set to the right side, 1 to the left, running room out to the right. 1:23 left here in the first quarter. Player goes in motion, that's Dawson. Petrie goes to the air, got a completion. Going to get a good one on this one. Making the catch is Aaron Miller. Miller inside the 40 and now inside the 35-yard line. She's going to have another first down. Taking it from the 46-yard line to the 33-yard line. That is a gain on the pass reception of 13 yards. First down number 6 for Portland.
And it looked like that they motioned the back out of the backfield towards the trip side, so that was a screenplay for the receiver. They sent 4 blockers down the field and then just bring the other receiver from the other side across the middle, get her the ball with the blockers already out front.
Running room out to the left side in the I formation. The give this time to the first person through. That is going to be Kiki Duran. Duran getting good, strong blocking up front. Takes the ball inside the 20-yard line to the 19, and yet another first down. Duran picks up 14 yards, and that is first down number 8 for the Portland Fighting Shockwave, and they are on a good run right now with 41 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Just a simple fullback dive to the left side behind Krugel and Alamatafitadi. That's a tough name. But again, Portland's got a great push on that side of the line, and I'd just keep running there.
I formation again, running room out to the left side, looking to see Everett put a stop on right here if they can do so. With the handoff, the second man through, carrying the football is Rebecca Dawson. Keeps going, and finally taken down at the 3-yard line.
That time is a lead ISO to the left side. That's where Portland's making a lot of their yards, just running left. And Dawson was able to get through. It was really untouched until she got about 8 or 9 yards down the field. Then threw a vicious stiff arm to an Everett defender. Sets up 1st and goal.
16-yard gain that time. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, and the first quarter has come to an end. We are through 1 quarter of play here at Everett Memorial Stadium, and Portland, a team that puts up a lot of points, just scoring 6 in the first quarter. Got to give the Everett Rain defense credit there. It is 6-0 as we go to the second quarter here. We'll take a timeout. You are viewing on STSPN.com, home of the Everett Rain.
Into Honda of Marysville for the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage galore. Check out the latest offer and save big. Visit us and explore our huge inventory of quality Honda models or view all current offers at hondaofmarysville.com. Our goal is to ensure that our customers are satisfied not only at the time of purchase, but as long as they own their vehicle. When you do business with Honda of Marysville, life gets better.
We move to the second quarter of play. Our score is 6-0. Portland is leading Everett here at Everett Memorial Stadium. The Fighting Shockwave against the Everett Rain. First down and goal from the 3-yard line as they switch sides, and now the Fighting Shockwave in their white uniform tops with Petrie at quarterback right behind center. Backs in the I formation. Petrie's going to hand the football off, and running into a stack right there is going to be Kiki Duran, and Duran's not going to get anything. I don't think she got anything on that one. I don't see any gain there. So it's going to be second and goal from the 3.
Good stop by the Everett defense. The front 4 on that side of the ball does a great job just holding their ground. Even push back on the Portland offensive line. Sets up second and goal. And if I'm Portland, I'd say, okay, try the right side. Let's go left where they haven't been able to stop us.
Well, let's see if they do just that. At center, Jenna Castro up to the line. They're going to go with wideouts on each side, one on each side, and the I formation again. Second and goal from the 3-yard line. Petrie at quarterback. Let's see if the Rain can shut him down again. There's a handoff, and taking it straight up the middle into the end zone is Rebecca Dawson for the score. 14-11 left to go here in the second quarter, and Dawson scores her second touchdown of the game to make it 12-0.
That time they went lead up the middle to the left side of the center that time behind Alama Toffee guard. Hey, I got it right.
There you go.
Keep running behind her because Portland's had the most success running in that direction. Whenever they've really tried to get cute or even run to the right side, that's where Everett's been able to get some stops. But whenever Portland's run to their left,
we have a penalty flag on the field.
I think there's going to be an illegal substitution.
We got illegal substitution here, 5 yards. Repeat the on-time down.
All right, so they'll move them back 5 yards in this play. Portland's second penalty of the game. Everett has one penalty for 10 yards. It was on that holding that eventually took him back to a long first down and 20 on that last drive. So they're going to go for the extra point. At least that's what they're showing right now with Tess Bear in as the place kicker. It's set down at the 15. The kick on the way. Looks good from here. Is it? It is good. So Bear connects on the extra point. It is 13-0. Portland on top. 14-11 left to go in the second quarter. We'll take a break and come back with more action right here on STSPN.com.
Football knows no season. Saddle up, they're coming.
Well, Luke, it is 13-0, 14-11 left to go. And, you know, for the Everett Rain, still plenty of time. They just got to find a way to get on the scoreboard, and I mean with 6.
Yeah, you need 6. On their last possession, they were doing okay. Then that holding penalty set them back, and they're just not good enough offensively right now to overcome 10-yard penalties, or really any penalties. So they need to play a clean game on the offensive side of the ball and just keep moving the ball, trying to move the chains, and get some confidence.
2 players back deep for the Everett Rain. Over on the left side for them is Keena Hopkins, and here comes the kickoff. Bear. She's going to go over to, it's going to be one of the up men taking the football at the 40-yard line, and getting it that time for the Everett Rain will be Amelia Carr. Carr is going to be taken out of bounds and picks up, looks to be about 5 yards on the return. And again, Luke, they're going to start with good field position. Last time they started at the 49, this time at their own 49. This time they will start at their own 45.
Good field position is great, but you still have to take advantage of it. And again, they were moving the ball fine last drive until that penalty. So they just have to play a clean game, get 5, 7, 6 yards at a time, and they'll be all right. But they have to, right now, they just need something positive to get their confidence going and prove that they can actually score some points against this very stingy Portland defense.
First down, 10 yards to go at the 45-yard line, near hash mark to us. Over here on the press box media side of the field. This is a big building right here with a couple of levels. But once you get up here, the vantage point is really strong. Backs in the I formation. Wideouts with one on each side. At quarterback, Michelle Walsh. Drops back. Going to hang on to it. Now wants to go to the air. Looks for a receiver in the middle. That one is nearly intercepted or caught. Two players in there tight. The intended receiver was Brooklyn Holton, and in on the coverage that time was Nicole Villarino. That could have gone either way if one of those players would have caught it. They were both right on the ball.
Both players got to the conversion on the ball at the same time, and what I would like to have seen is for one of them to reach out to the hands, both trying to body catch it. That's pass the ball.
Second down and 10 yards to go right now from the 45-yard line of the Everett Rain in their black uniforms with the green helmets. Same formation, I formation behind the quarterback, Michelle Walsh out of Minot State University. Drops him back and going to hand off to the fullback that time. Carrying the football will be Yali Delgado. Want to double check on that. It's going to be a gain of 5 yards nonetheless. No, it was Jamie Lawson carried the football. Lawson, a 3-year veteran, takes it up to the 50-yard line.
Looks like they moved Pelham from tailback to fullback because Brandy Ride, their starting fullback, is out injured. Decent push there by the Everett offensive line. A 5-yard gain. That's positive. You will take that every time on 2nd and 10.
Second down, 5 yards to go. Again, a long huddle for Everett. 13-17 left here in the second quarter at Everett Memorial Stadium. And the shadows coming out more now over halfway across the field, setting behind the west grandstand as to how the planet rotates. 2nd and 5, ball between the hash marks. Wideouts on each side. Dropping back is the quarterback Walsh. She's got running room to the 50, to the 45, and gets about to the 40-yard line. She's got the first down. Knocked out of bounds, taken out of bounds at right about the 40. We'll see the official spot, and that is what she got, 10 yards. 1st and 10 for the Everett Rain, and that is their second first down of the game.
Good job by Walsh there, feeling the pressure, and then she broke contain. And when she got outside of the defensive end for Portland, there was no one in front of her, so she did the smart thing. Just started sprinting upfield, was able to get more than enough for the first down, then get out of bounds to avoid any punishment.
12:33 left in the second quarter. Lots of football left here tonight on STSPN.com. Women's football trip set to the right. Walsh from the shotgun, standing at the 45-yard line of Portland. Whistles going off. We have a timeout called. Yes, timeout called by the Portland Fighting Shockwave. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching women's football right here on the home of the Everett Rain, STSPN.com. It is Portland leading 13-0. We'll be back with more.
To Honda of Marysville for the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage galore. Check out the latest offer and save big. Visit us and explore our huge inventory of quality Honda models or review all current offers at hondaofmarysville.com. Our goal is to ensure that our customers are satisfied not only at the time of purchase, but as long as they own their vehicle.
Welcome back. We have a penalty flag as they start the play at 1st and 10, 12:15 left to go in the second quarter. Everett moving the ball nicely after starting from their own 45-yard line. But, Luke, they've got to sort things out here.
I think that's going to be a penalty against Everett, which is too bad because that negates a nice gain by Pelham. That's the best run that she's had so far this evening. I think Everett may have been lined up illegally, or there's a possibility that a Portland player was lined up in the neutral zone, but chances are, because they let the play continue, it's against the offense.
Officials talking things over right now. Portland scoring with 8:39 left to go in the first quarter. Rebecca Dawson taking it on their first drive from 16 yards out and bursting over on the left side, rolled right into the end zone for the touchdown. They tried a 2-point conversion. It was not successful.
So we have an illegal procedure.
So they wrapped up the quarter
on
leading
offense.
6-0. Now we had a partial indication from the official right there.
Illegal procedure.
It is a legal procedure called, and Rebecca Dawson also scored the second touchdown for Portland with 14:11 left to go in the second quarter here. Tess Bear with the extra point being good. That's a 5-yard penalty, and I'm going to move the ball back to the 45-yard line. So Everett with 2 penalties for 15 yards, 2 against Portland for 10 yards. It'll be first down and 15 from the 45 of Portland. All right, Luke, Professor, what do we got to do here?
I say run it again. They just had their best push of the game. Why not try the same play? Because it was negated by a penalty, but doesn't mean that the penalty had nothing to do with what the offensive line did. So I say run it right to the left again and see what you can get.
First and 15. Ball between the hash marks. Backs in the eye. Wideouts on each side. A pitch to the left. Taking the pitch is Holton. Holton trying to turn the corner on the left, and she runs into a couple players. And you see a flag at the end right there. And possible face mask, because you give that indication here to me in the press box.
It was thrown right in the direction where the tackle is being made. That's often a face mask.
Yeah, that could be a biggie to really help out Everett here in this game. Did we get the indication?
Yeah, I saw
I'm
the
just.
the ref did give this.
I was listening to the static as they were trying to check the wireless mic there, and we might just want to.
Face mask on the defense. We're gonna have an automatic first down.
All right, automatic first down with the face mask. So good spot there, Luke, at the end of that play, and that's going to bring the ball to the 30-yard line. That is a 15-yard penalty against Portland.
And for Everett, you take any gift you can get, whether it be 5, 10, or 15. And right now they have a little bit of momentum going. Let's see if they can capitalize.
They race up. They had a long ways to go from the huddle right there as the ball was moved to the 30-yard line. Lots of running room out to the near side of the field. One wide out there, one to the left. Backs in the spread I formation. And at quarterback, Walsh takes the snap, hands off to the second player through. Getting the football is Holton. Holton got some running room and gets inside the 25-yard line. Going to go down, it looks like at the 23 for a gain of 7 yards. It'll bring up second down and 3.
The Everett offensive line, I have to give them credit there for opening up a big hole on the right side. And Holton was able to get about 4 or 5 yards down the field before getting touched. Great first play on first down.
Sun making its way towards setting, and it gets cold here at Everett Memorial Stadium, either on the football side or the baseball side when the sun goes down. So we've packed accordingly.
Yes, we have.
It does. It really, all of a sudden, and that marine air comes in here. It is really a beautiful spot, though. They did a great job laying it out many years ago. Second down, 3 yards to go at the 23-yard line. Everett with the football. 10:02 to go, and whistle's going off again.
I think we have a timeout called, yes, by Everett.
There was a 7-yard gain on that last play to take it to the 23-yard line, and we have a timeout here.
Yeah, Everett called the timeout.
So Everett with the timeout with 10:02 left to go in the quarter. And, again, keep it tuned to STSPN.com throughout the year. You got women's football here tonight as STSPN.com is doing both the Everett Rain and the Seattle Majestics football. And then there's more activities as we move into the summertime, and then we get to the fall. And it's high school football, big time, and then high school basketball, baseball, soccer, different things like that. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you and I have been doing football for about 4 or 5 years now. Couple months ago, we got to do our first basketball games together. And so, it's been a lot of fun.
I want to mention that timeout brought to you by Everett Physical Therapy Sports Performance Center. Second down, 3 yards to go. They set the ball down at the 23-yard line. Running room out to the left side. Walsh at quarterback. Takes it straight ahead. Gets a couple of yards on the play. She's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Still kind of mixing it up that time, Luke, and finding different ways to get yardage.
I think they're trying to catch the Portland defense off guard, go with a quick count, make sure, see if they're not quite fully set. Walsh was able to get a couple yards, but not quite get to the first down marker. Sets up a third and about a short one.
Head coach of the Everett Rain is Billy Russo. His defensive coordinator is Rich Stewart. Russo also handles the offensive coordinator position. You have coaches Joe Styler, Will Kendrick, Steve Rooks, Shaw Smyers, Alex Shankman, Larry Lisk, and Carlos Anchetta. Head coach and 8 assistants for the Everett Rain. It is 3rd down and 1 from the 21-yard line. Walsh is going to hand it off, getting the football and turning around. Great play by Holton. Holton's got the first down and goes down at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5 yards. First down, Rain. That is their 4th first down of the game.
Great effort there by Holton, fighting for those extra yards. She didn't really run the play as it was blocked. She was supposed to go inside the lead block. She went outside, but still had some room. And then she fought through a couple tackles to get that extra last couple yards.
Well, let's see if Everett can just keep going. They got plenty of time on the clock to work with. 9:01 left to go in the second quarter, trailing 13-0. A big key right now, and weather conditions should not be a factor at all with as nice a day it is. You got to hang on to that football, too. As they carry it, they cannot get sloppy, get too excited, and lose the handle on the football, because this is a nice drive right here that they're orchestrating.
You're right. They have a great drive going. They need 6. They got to get 6 points out of this. Otherwise, all this work will really be for naught.
Really got to be appreciating the job that Everett is doing in this game to a very tough Portland team, leaders in the division. There's a play fake. Walsh with it. Lots of pressure on, and she's going to be brought down out of the pocket. But 3 big players coming through to take her down. And that's going to be a big loss right there. You hate to see that, too. They're going to have it go back to the 25-yard line, which is going to make it a loss of 9 yards. Tess Bear in on the horde that time.
Everett felt like they maybe had something set up, so they run the play fake, get Walsh out and rolling her out to the right. Bear did not bite on the fake at all. Was able to get up the field, put pressure, and get this and lead the charge for the sack. That's a tough loss for Everett because they really had something going. Now they're at second, about 20 to go. Again, not a lot of plays in the play for that.
2nd and 17 officially as the ball is set at the 25-yard line. Everett comes up near hash mark. They're going to set trips to the left side, single wide out to the right. Quarterback in the shotgun formation. That is Walsh with a running back next to her. Walsh takes the snap, looking to go to the air. A little screen across the middle this time to Holton. And Holton, man, that is just a whole array of laundry down there. There's 3 penalty flags as Holton got to the 25-yard line.
They all saw the same thing. It looked like at the same time. Because boom, 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 the penalty flags came right after the other. Walsh got under a little duress there, just found a check down receiver. Holton, give her credit. She kept fighting through it.
We're going to get the word.
We got personal foul, face mask on the defense. We're going to be half the distance, automatic first down.
How about that?
Big break for Everett right there.
Second big face mask call against Portland on this drive. And Everett going to get closer yet as they're going to go down to about the 12.5-yard line. So we'll say from the 12-yard line, they're going to go for on first down. Here they go. In between the hash marks, it's closer to the near hash mark to us. I formation, wideouts on each side. At quarterback, Walsh. 5-7 takes the snap. There's a strong pitch to the left. Almost losing the handle was Holton. And Holton going to break the tacklers. Reverses field to the 20, 15, 10. Towards the 5 as she bounced off one tackler and goes inside the 10-yard line. Finally taken out of bounds. Great play as she reversed field and came the other direction. Excellent presence of mind. And it's going to go down to the 6-yard line. How about that?
Great effort by Holton. Not giving up on the play, keeping her feet moving. Not so often running backs, when they get hit, they just stop. She didn't. She was able to break some tackles, reverses field, and I thought she was going to score, to be honest, when she broke free.
Well, ends up getting it down to the 6-yard line, so they were around the 12. Let's give her a gain of 6 yards on the play. And it's going to be 2nd and 4. They need to get to the 2-yard line. 1 wide right, 2 to the left. Next to the quarterback is Cullum. Walsh, the long count in the shotgun, drops back after getting the snap, looking around, goes to the air to the left side. Oh, it's going to be picked off! An interception. Simone Shepard. Shepard carrying the football to the 40, the 50, the 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5 into the end zone. I'm looking for flags. I don't see any. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. They drove so well on that drive, and then to get picked off like that. Luke, break it down.
Everett tried to hit an out route there. Walsh, I think, was steering the receiver down a little too much. Shepard from her safety spot read it, broke on the ball, and really was a fight for the ball because she got to the ball right about the same time as the receiver was there. She comes away with it and goes, I think, about 97 yards, I think, or 96, something.
Well, they were at the 6-yard line, so that is a 94-yard interception return.
94-yard interception return for a touchdown. Oh, that's a heartbreaker for Everett. And you can see just the dejection on the sidelines over there right now.
Yeah, that is really tough to swallow as they were doing such a good job knocking on the door, down 13-0. You get 6 points, and it's suddenly you cut that lead in half virtually. Now it is 19-0, and Portland on for the extra point. Tess Bear out of the hold from Holly Petrie. Bear is 1 for 1 in extra point attempts. This one here goes over the crossbar good. So she connects on that, and it is now 20-0 Portland with 5:56 left to go in the second quarter. We'll take a timeout, brought to you by Marysville Honda right here on STSPN.com.
When you do business with Honda of Marysville, life gets better.
O'Brien.
Into Honda of Marysville for the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage galore. Check out the latest offer and save big. Visit us and explore our huge inventory of quality Honda models or view all current offers at hondaofmarysville.com. Our goal is to ensure...
We are live at Everett Memorial Stadium. This facility gets a lot of use from football and soccer and lacrosse throughout the year. And 2 deep back for the Everett Rain. On the left side, it is Keena Hopkins. On the right side, Brooklyn Holton. And the kickoff is going to be taken by one of the up men. That is Casey Cornish. Cornish lost the handle, now gets it back, and going to be brought down at around the 40-yard line. Doesn't really get much on that. Might be just inside the 40. And again, Everett will have good field position. They've started at their own 49, their own 45. They were moving the ball really well last time. Let's just reset this and see if they can get it into the end zone this time.
That last play, just flush it. Get rid of it, try to forget about it, and just build on what you were doing that got you down to inside their 10-yard line to begin with. Hopefully they can do that, but I saw their sideline after that interception return for a touchdown. There's like a look of dejection throughout the team.
Yeah, I mean, they worked so hard to get it down there. They benefited by 2 face mask calls, which helped them for 15 yards and about 12 and a half yards to get them right there to the 12-yard line. Then they had the gain down to the 6 and then the interception. And she just kept going and going. Simone Shepard out of Regis University, 5'10", 180 pounds. And once she crossed midfield, it was pretty much all her the rest of the way.
It was academic at that point.
Yes, it was. Looks like we have a timeout on the sideline. That will be charged to the Portland Fighting Shockwave. Again, your first-place team in the North Division at 3-0. Everett coming in at 0-2. I'm Mark Aucutt with Luke Winsor. Debbie Larson on statistics. We'll take a look at statistics at halftime. As so far, Portland scoring 1 touchdown in the first quarter. Rebecca Dawson from 16 yards out. Then Dawson in the second quarter here with 14:11 left to go. Took it in from 4 yards out. And just a short while ago, Simone Shepard with a 94-yard interception return. And 2 extra points good to make it 20-0. That's where we sit right now with 5:49 left to go in the second quarter.
So let's see how Everett responds from that really a gut-wrenching play. That could be the play of the game, just from what the biggest play of the game and the one that decides the outcome.
Absolutely. All right, 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Twins on each side. Quarterback, Walsh, going to start it up again. Let's see if she can keep moving the ball. Oh, and a fumble on the handoff. It's going to be picked up by Portland. Another miscue. What was I talking about a few minutes ago? You got to hang on to that ball, and that's either by not throwing an interception or fumbling, and that's what they did right there.
2 plays in a row for Everett, just backbreakers. That looked like, from our vantage point, Pelham, the running back, she did a thing that you don't want running backs to do, in that she grabbed for the ball instead of just letting the ball get put into her stomach. She grabbed for it. That caused the fumble, and Portland was able to pounce on it for the turnover.
So Portland now going from north to south once again here, up 20-0 already, and they have the football, and they can just kind of cruise towards halftime with 5:44 left in the second quarter. I formation, wideouts on each side, ball at the near hash mark, and it's going to be a keeper. With the football this time is Petrie. Petrie getting a good gain and taken down at the 23-yard line, a gain of 18 yards for Petrie.
That play was simple option football where Petrie fakes the dive to the fullback, and then she lets the fullback get in front of her, and then she gets behind the fullback and uses the fullback as a lead blocker. Great design play. She's able to fool the Everett defense for a big gain.
1st down and 10 to go from the 23-yard line. Luke, 11 first downs now for Portland.
That's correct.
11 first downs for Portland, and for
5.
Everett, 5. I formation again. Running room out to the right side. Taking it straight up the middle this time will be Rebecca Dawson. Rebecca of the 2 touchdowns, Dawson, and she takes it inside to about the 17-yard line. Gain of 6.
Again, running behind Alama, Tafi, and Castro, the center. That's where a lot of the yards for Portland have been tonight, is just running behind those 2. And it looks like we have an Everett player down.
Yeah, that's happened, about 3 times in this game. Everett's had players down.
And they have about 10 players on their injured reserve already, so their depth is going into the game was already hurting. So they cannot afford too many injuries tonight.
They have a little miscommunication. One player was starting to head out. Willow Dial, 5'4", 298 pounds. Now she is back in and playing at the nose guard position. Snap taken. Petrie, play action. Goes to the air this time. Gets the completion, and that's going to be taken down to the 10-yard line. Making the catch that time, Tess Bear. Enough for the 1st down.
Just a simple tight end pop pass, fake the fullback dive. And they get the tight end, try to sneak the tight end behind the linebackers, which is what Portland did. Able to get the 1st down, move the chains, and keep this drive going.
Gain that time of 7 yards. 1st down and goal from the 10. They got the chains down, so just the yard marker, the 1st down marker over there. Ball near the far hash mark from us. Wideouts on each side. Backs split behind the quarterback. Petrie is going to hand the ball off to Dawson. Dawson off one tackler, now moving towards the 6-yard line, and finally tackled. That's going to be a gain of 4 and bring up 2nd down.
They are an outside zone to the right at that time. The Everett safeties were able to fill that alley and force Dawson back inside and into the pursuit, but not before Dawson's able to get 4 yards, which is a good play on 1st down.
2nd and goal from the 6-yard line for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. They play at Hillsborough Stadium, which is to the west of Portland. It's a great facility. I've actually been there. It's a good-sized football stadium. Similar complex to what we have here at Everett. They have a baseball stadium that's just a few years old where the Hillsborough Hops of the Northwest League play. They're in the same league as the Everett Aqua Sox. Again, those stadiums built right next to each other. Handoff goes to Dawson. Dawson keeps going and into the end zone. Dawson with another touchdown, this time from 6 yards out. It was set up by that fumble, and with 2:54 left to go, it is now, here in the second quarter, Portland 26 and Everett nothing.
Then they ran an off-tackle lead to Dawson, get behind the left side of that line, which is where they made most of the yards tonight. And again, Dawson just gets behind her pads, lets her blockers do the work, is able to push into the end zone for the touchdown.
Going for the extra point. On the hold will be Petrie. For the kick is Tess Bear out of Pace University. 5'8", 185 pounds. That's going to be close as to whether she got it through. She barely got it through the uprights, but it is still good. 27-0. That is our score here with 2:54 left in the second quarter at Everett Memorial Stadium on STSPN.com. Everett, Washington, as the Portland Fighting Shockwave in a commanding position right now. We are going to take a timeout and be back with more coverage right here. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're here at Everett Memorial Stadium. 27-0 is the score. The Portland Fighting Shockwave leading the Everett Reign. Portland outscoring Everett 21-0 here in the second quarter after having a 6-0 lead at the end of one. Short kick this time. Going to be batted around and just might as well fall on the football. And finally, that is what Nicole Villarino out of Southern Oregon University is going to do. Everett once again have solid field position to start this drive and call us the eternal optimist, but each time they get the ball, we're going, okay, put something together, get in the end zone, and chip away at this. It's at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10, but Portland is tough. There's no doubt about that. A lot of veteran players on this team, and they know how to play together well.
They are tough, but Everett has shown they can move the ball. But now with under 3 minutes to go in the half, there has to be a little more sense of urgency. Probably going to have to put the ball up in the air a little bit more to get some chunks of yards down the field.
But being careful putting it in the air, not have it intercepted like Simone Shepard did earlier in the quarter. 94-yard interception return. Ball at the far hash mark. Running room out to the right. At quarterback is Walsh. Takes the snap in the shotgun. Fakes once to the right, keeps the football, eludes a tackler, keeps going into the air, and that one is incomplete. Almost a catch over there by Brooklyn Holton.
Holton did a good job with the scramble drill there. She sees her quarterback in trouble, breaks off her route, and finds some open space to get open. Ball looked like it was just about on target. Holton just couldn't come down with it.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 39-yard line of Everett. Lights on here at the stadium. The sun setting directly across the way from us. A bright, beautiful day. Now, there are no shadows on the field as it is completely shadow-free. It's actually the darker color. You don't see the sunlight really out there on the field at all. So we will have that becoming more of a night-like situation coming up here at twilight shortly. Pass is in the air and going to be incomplete. The intended receiver for Everett, Keena Hopkins. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 from the 39-yard line.
And Nicole Villarino from her cornerback spot was able to converge on the ball and make a nice play to prevent any reception there. And, again, something I noticed it in the first game, I'm seeing again today, Walsh really does kind of lock in on the receiver she wants to throw to. She needs to start, finding the free safety, looking the free safety off, and then coming back to her intended target. But because she's staring down the receivers, it's allowing the opposing defensive backs to make great breaks on the ball.
2:37 left in the second quarter. 27-0, Portland on top. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Ball's at the 39-yard line of Everett. Trip set to the right, one to the left. Shotgun for Walsh. Back to her right, takes the snap. Looking to the air, got plenty of time. Now going to take off. 45 towards midfield. She goes out of bounds. Looks initially, the spot's going to be at the 47-yard line. That's a pickup of 8 yards, and she's going to be short of a 1st down by 2 yards. It'll be 4th down and 2, and you got to go for it.
Have to go for it. Also, I would have liked to have seen Walsh, not instead of running out of bounds, try to lower the shoulder, try to pick up that 1st down, give her team a lift, because they really need one right now.
Walsh does seem like a pretty good quarterback as we watch her out here, and she scrambles well.
She's got good mobility, decent arm, but the one thing I have noticed is she does stare down receivers, and that does give the defenders an advantage.
It is 4th down and 2. Walsh takes the snap, drops back, looks to the air. Now going to finally go to the air. It's going to be in and out of the hands. The intended receiver was Jamie Lawson out of Edmonds Community College, 5'4", 150-pounder in her 4th year. And that will turn the ball over on downs to the Portland Fighting Shockwave. I'm looking to see. Yeah, there is a flag. I was looking at the
Encroachment, defense, it's going to be a first down.
How about that? Everett catches a break. Encroachment against Portland. That is their 4th penalty, and make that 5th penalty, and a total now of 43 yards in penalties.
And that's the 3rd penalty that the Portland defense has committed that's given Everett a first down. So they've really helped out Everett a lot in moving the ball. Now Everett really needs to take advantage.
Taking a look at first downs, Everett with 6 and Portland with 14. It is going to be 1st down and 10 at the 48-yard line of the Portland Fighting Shockwave. 1:57 left here in the 2nd quarter. Can Everett get on the scoreboard this time around? We shall see. This is their 4th drive of the game. Walsh takes the snap, goes to the air, and it's going to be picked off. Once again, Simone Shepard getting the pick and brings it back to the 44-yard line. Shepard, a thorn in the side of quarterback Michelle Walsh. She has intercepted her twice. At least she doesn't get the big return like last time, but still, it's going back to Portland.
They tried to hit Holton up the seam, and Shepard read it the whole way. Good play by her, good break on the ball. And thankfully for Everett, Shepard didn't take it all the way back this time.
Portland is ready. Everett needs to figure out which side of the field they need to go over to, and they finally do. Yes, they were a little off balance there. Now we have flags all over the place. Everett was just discombobulated right there. That's the word I'm looking for. All kinds of confusion, but we'll see. Is this going the other way? Did Everett, through all of that, cause a penalty to go the other direction?
I almost wonder if an Everett player jumped offside just to prevent the play from happening.
Let's see if we have.
And now I think a timeout's also been called too because we have attendance coming on the field for Everett.
Yeah, there is a timeout on the field. Let's take a timeout as well. Brought to you by Everett Physical Therapy Sports Performance Center. As our score is 27-0 Portland, 1:48 left to go 2nd quarter here on STSPN.com. Welcome back. We are live here at Everett Memorial Stadium. Portland leading 27-0. Women's football right here. Portland with the football. 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line after the Simone Shepard 2nd interception of the game. And there's a ball coming loose on the snap. Recovering it will be Jessica Gertis.
The fumble snap. Gertis was just right there at the right place at the right time to fall on that ball. Otherwise, that could have been a turnover for Everett, which would have been huge if they could have gotten the ball back.
So that is a 3-yard loss. 2nd down, 13 yards to go from the 41-yard line of the Fighting Shockwave. Dropping back will be Petrie. Goes to the air, deflected away by an Everett player. The intended receiver that time was Nicole Villarino out of Southern Oregon University, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 13. Clock running, or stop now with 1:15 left to go in the 2nd quarter.
So try to hit Villarino on a simple go. Underthrown, allowed the Everett safety, looked like it was Holton, I think, to get underneath that and make a play on the ball, almost come down with an interception of her own.
Ball's at the 41-yard line, 3rd and 15. Near hash mark, running room out to the right side. Tight trip set to the left. Petrie in the shotgun. On her right is Dawson. She has already scored 3 touchdowns in the game. High snap. Petrie hangs on to it. Now goes to the air, finds Dawson. Dawson is not able to hold on to the ball. Good hit put on that time by Everett. Coming through was Pat Winningham out of Wilcox High School, 5'9", 260-pounder, and she put the crunch on to force the incompletion. 1:07 left in the second quarter.
They tried to set up a screen to Dawson. Whittingham does a good job not biting on it and was right there when the ball arrived and put a big hit on Dawson.
Fourth down, 13 yards to go. So if you're Portland, what do you want to do right here?
I think they're going to punt it. It looks like Shepard's their punter. She's the one leading the huddle now. The way their defense is playing, why not? They can pin them back and maybe even force another turnover and get better field position.
Shepard is going to drop back. Everett with two deep men back, standing right around the 40-yard line. And now, with 1:07 left to go here in the quarter, we'll get the snap. Low snap. Shepard, good high punt. Getting underneath it is going to be Brooklyn Holton. Holton has it come off of her, and I would have called for a fair catch right there. Nikki Pelham is right there. She got the football?
Yes, she got the football.
No, they're going to say that it is going to be Everett football. So Pelham had it. They're going to give Everett the ball and the first down. So an Everett player, it went off Pelham. She couldn't hang on to it, and so it will be Everett ball.
Yeah, Holton should have called for a fair catch, and it was just very fortunate that the ball bounced right to a teammate of hers, Nikki Pelham.
So Pelham got the football, did hang on to it. Thanks. Sorry about that. It will be now at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Everett Range, 27-0. 56 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. On STSPN.com, Mark Aucutt, Luke Winsor, Debbie Larson, Todd Elvig, and Josh Elvig, part of your broadcast team. Ball right between the hash marks. Two wideouts on each side. Walsh in the shotgun, running back to her right. Takes the snap, looks left, going to go that direction. And it's thrown low. That's going to be an incompletion. The intended receiver that time was Brooklyn Holton out of Western Washington University, the Vikings.
And it's just as well that was incomplete because she had to go down to the ground to catch it. If she catches it, clock stays running, and I think Everett might be out of timeouts. So, again, just as well as fell incomplete. Who I'd like to see Everett try to get involved now is Shania Holland, their very fine tight end. They got her the ball a couple times early in the game, but they haven't gone her way since.
That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Trip set to the left. One wide out to the right side. Ball right between the hash marks again. Walsh will take the snap. Play action, goes to the air. That's going to be a completion. And a good job over there as the ball is caught. And enough for the first down. Excellent job for Everett. Making the catch down there for them was Noor Altamimi.
And Everett going to hurry up now. The clock is now moving, so I think they lost to spike the ball.
That's what she's going to do. Makes it 2nd down on that pickup. That was a great play.
It's a great wide receiver slip screen for Altamimi. Able to pick up some blockers and get in the open field, get necessary yards for the first down. Really get Everett going on this drive.
Pick up a 15 yards on the previous play. That is going to, let's make that 19 yards on the previous play. It's going to take the football to the 37-yard line. 35 seconds on the clock. 2nd down, 10 yards to go.
And again, that play really could have given Walsh a lot of confidence, so let's see what they dial up for her now.
Running room out to the right side. 3 receivers over there, 1 to the left. Walsh on the play fake, going to go to the air. Gets a completion to Nia Thomas. Nada for Nia. She's going to lose a couple yards on the play, bring up 3rd down.
I think Walsh felt some pressure, so she just got to her outlet receiver Thomas, but unfortunately for Thomas, there's a Portland defender right there.
12 seconds left here in the second quarter. And again, a spike of the football by Walsh will bring up 4th down.
And 10 seconds left, so this might be everyone go long and let's just chuck it downfield, see what we can get. Maybe we can get a pass interference call instead of another play.
A timeout for Everett to talk things over after the spike of the football as they reload. 2 timeouts left in the half for Portland. They're not going to need them. And Everett has used all of their timeouts. Walsh set again. Drops back. Looking, pointing around, and going to be taken down. Ball comes loose, too. And a Portland player is right on it. That time was Christina Landers.
Landers with the sack, and I believe it was Victoria LeDuc who came away with the recovery. I think Everett tried to send everyone downfield, and there's a flag down on the far side of the field. Let's see what that's all about.
The officials talking things over with 1 second left to go in the second quarter. 27-0 is the score. Got the indication.
It's against. They just moved the down marker forward.
Yeah, they're going to move it to the 34.
All right, we got encroachment on the defense. Still got 4th down. It's going to be on the ready.
So encroachment against the defense. Now 6 penalties for 48 yards against Portland, but they've got the big number, 27 on the scoreboard. None for Everett.
So give Everett another chance to throw downfield, maybe get a pass interference, maybe you can get a completion for a score.
1 second to go. Inside handoff. Carrying the football is Pelham. And she's going to get down to the 32-yard line, and that is going to be it. So a gain of a yard on that for Pelham, and we are through the first half of play here at Everett Memorial Stadium on STSPN.com. Our score, the Portland Fighting Shockwave, 27, the Everett Rain, nothing. We'll take a break for halftime. Coming up in halftime in our activities is an interview that I conducted before the game with former Seahawk and Super Bowl participant Joe Tafoya. You'll want to stick around for that. That's coming up at the half, and more on the way. We'll take a look at statistics as we get set for the second half. Keep it right here on STSPN.com, our coverage of women's football, and that is from the Women's Football Association. We'll be back with more.
for the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage galore. Check out the latest offer and save big. Visit us and explore our huge inventory of quality Honda models or view all current offers at hondaofmarysville.com. Our goal is to ensure that our customers are satisfied not only at the time of purchase, but as long as they own their vehicle. When you do business with Honda of Marysville, life gets better.
And there's the snap. Petrie drops back to the 20-yard line, goes to the air. It's going to be incomplete. Missing. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Aucutt with Joe Tafoya, former Seahawk right here and 7-year NFL player, went to the University of Arizona, and back here to join us today during the game is we're here watching women's football. Your thoughts on women's football?
Well, I feel comfortable here down on the field. It's a little different to be watching women's football, but this is sort of an emerging sport right now, and there's a lot of interest in it.
Getting down on the field does feel comfortable. I know for you it's got to be a special feeling anytime you walk on a football field.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much grew up on the football field. I've been playing football, or I was playing football since I was about 8, and it's just something that it becomes part of you, and you never lose it. So.
You are from Pittsburgh, California, and tell us about those years when you started playing football at 8 and advancing to high school and then to college.
Junior football into high school football, and then I was picked up by the University of Arizona, and then I got drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a fun time of the season for me, too, to watch all of the draft happen and see these young men get their shot at the NFL. It's really exciting, and I mean, what better weather could you ask for than this?
You still stay in touch with the Seahawk teammates? You were there in 05 and 06.
Yeah, the ones that are still local, I keep in touch with them. Some of us have, different places that we live in during different times of the year. But we all the players that I played with, there are a core group of us that we all stay in touch. Jordan Babineau's still around town. Craig Terrell's still in town. I still, every once in a while, talk to Grant Winstrom and Bryce Fisher. So mostly defensive guys.
You were there in the Seahawks, really great recent glory days before what they're going through right now, making it to the Super Bowl in 06. That experience had to be incredible.
It really was. That's sort of the pinnacle of my career. I got to go to the Super Bowl in Detroit and play against the Steelers, and that's just something that you just never forget. You fight your whole life to get to a moment, and we made it there. Unfortunately, we didn't win the big game, but we still made it, and I'm very proud of that, very proud of my accomplishments. And I even had the NFC Championship ring that they gave to me, so I wear that all the time, and it's not every day you get to wear your accomplishments on your ring, on your finger.
No, I agree. It is great that, and you did so much, really, the whole team, to really energize the city of Seattle and the Puget Sound region, laying groundwork for what is there right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a strong interest, there always has been, in Seattle sports. But during that time, it was sort of transitional. We were changing colors, changing coaches, a lot of things going on. But what's always been consistent were the fans. And what we did was we gave them hope, and we gave them something to cheer for. And the minute you do that, the city was energized. And then when the team went and played in New York, in the Super Bowl in New York, you could literally feel it in the air. Everywhere you went, you saw 12 flags, you saw people wearing Seahawk colors, and it's just one of those things that unites a community.
What are you doing these days?
So I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've had a lot of business partners. I've done a lot of very interesting things. I bought a company, I sold the company, I've been in mobile technology, but right now I've got 2 young kids at home, and my wife and I decided we wanted to start our own company together, and we're selling women's apparel. It's called Lady 12, and the focus is around female fan gear. And we sell it into Albertsons and Safeway and Bartell Drugs locally, and then we're moving into new markets like Detroit and Illinois and San Francisco.
Now that 12 rings a bell. 12. Where might that come from?
Inspired definitely by the experience that we all shared here, in the last couple of years. But it's a community-driven thing more than anything else.
7 years in the NFL and a very successful college career at Arizona. What do you share with these young ladies out here to keep them pointed in the right direction for what they want to do in their career?
I just think that there isn't enough hard work that you can do. You can always do more. Always be willing to do what someone else isn't willing to do. That's how I made my career. I was never the best player. I was never even the best in high school. But I was always the guy that was willing to stay the extra time and put in the extra time in the weight room, in the film sessions, eating right, studying, all of those things that it takes to become a real professional. And so even if you don't have all of the talent in the world, you can still make it. And look, injuries are always part of the game. You never know when you're going to get your chance. So even if you're sitting behind someone, always be ready. Always be prepared. That's my message.
I think that's a great message right there. Joe, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the game, and thanks for supporting women's sports.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the interview.
You bet. That's Joe Tafoya. We'll be back with more right here on STSPN.com. In 3...
For the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage galore. Check out the latest offer and save big. Visit us and explore our huge inventory of quality Honda models or view all current offers at hondaofmarysville.com. Our goal is to ensure that our customers are satisfied not only at the time of purchase, but as long as they own their vehicle. When you do business with Honda of Marysville, life gets better.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Everett Memorial Stadium, home of the Everett Rain, as they're hosting the Portland Fighting Shockwave, and Portland leading, though, 27-0 at the half. I'm Mark Aucutt with Luke Winsor, Debbie Larson on statistics, and we're accompanied by producer Todd Elvig and also Josh Elvig. Let's take a look at statistics from the first half. First of all, for the Portland Fighting Shockwave, let's look at their rushing totals. Rebecca Dawson having a big first half. She scored 3 touchdowns and has 10 carries for 78 yards. Jessica Gertis with 1 carry for 5 yards. Also, Kiki Duran with 3 carries, 35 yards. Nicole Villarino, she has 2 yards on 1 carry, and also Holly Petrie with 2 carries for 35 yards. In passing, it is Holly Petrie with a total of 3 for 7 in passing, 27 yards, and receiving Simone Shepard 1 for 7 yards, Tess Bear 1 for 7 yards, and Aaron Miller 1 reception for 13 yards. As far as total offense is concerned, it is for Portland, they have 155 yards on the ground and 27 yards in the air. That's 182 yards in total offense. For the Everett Rain, Nikki Pelham with 3 carries for 2 yards. Michelle Walsh, the quarterback, 3 carries for 9 yards. Also, Jamie Lawson, 1 carry for 5 yards, and Brooklyn Holton, 4 carries for 20 yards. In passing, Michelle Walsh, 4 for 14, 28 yards, and she has 1 completion to Noor Al-Tamimi for 19 yards. Shania Holland with 2 receptions for 11 yards, and Naya Thomas for 1 reception for -2 yards. On the ground, Everett with 36 yards, 28 yards in the air for a total of just 64 yards in that first half. And Luke has more statistics to pass along to you.
On third down, Portland is 2 for 4 and 1 for 1 on fourth down, and they have 14 first downs total, doing a very good job on first and second down, not having to face a lot of third and fourth down conversions. For Everett, they are 2 out of 6 on third down, 1 for 3 on fourth down, with a total of 7 first downs. Although 3 of those first downs were a result of penalties committed by Portland, so they've had some help from the Portland defense.
Let's take a look at those penalties as well. Portland with 6 penalties for 48 yards. 3 of them have allowed Everett to get first downs, but still it is Portland with the 27-0 lead. Everett with a couple of penalties for 15 yards. That's where it sits, as both teams making their way back on the field. Portland's out there already. They will kick off to begin the second half here, and we bring you the action on the home of the Everett Rain, STSPN.com. You see the Everett Rain making their way back out onto the field, coming out of the locker rooms down there at the Jim Ennis Fieldhouse. It's up here in Everett, Washington. Jim Ennis, his son Terry Ennis, another great Hall of Fame coach. Terry was the Coach of the Century by the Seattle Times, and I'm sure a lot of people in the area are very familiar with the Ennis name, and great mentors to a lot of us, too.
And I played against him as a player in his last year as head coach at Cascade High School. And I don't want to talk about that game.
Yeah, and you, by the way, your background, too, you played at Kamiak High School and then was on the coaching staff at Kamiak for a number of years as an assistant coach under head coach Dan Mack, and you just absolutely love football. I know that. I can call you any time of year, and we can talk football.
Oh, I mean, I had the draft on this weekend, much to my 2 little girls' chagrin. They wanted some kiddie shows. I'm like, no, I'm watching the draft.
I think that's okay for Dad to have that.
It's one of my one football nerd weekends of the year. Let me have it.
Let him have it. Yeah, and for someone like you, and obviously I love football too. I am actually involved in a lot of baseball announcing. I do a public address for the Washington Huskies baseball team. They're having a very good year this year, first place in the Pac-12. But and there's always that buildup. We're at the end of April, and you still have a few months, but not too long now. It's getting closer, about 2.5 months until the start of a training camp. A little over that for the start of training camp for the NFL, but it starts coming up here now that they have the draft, and then they'll start more of the mini camps and the things along those lines, and everybody starts thinking football.
Rookie mini camp for the Seahawks is next weekend.
Yeah, so just around the corner. Spring football for college teams or previews taking place over the past few weeks. We're set for the kickoff, and finally they get to it there. Everett will get the ball to start the second half, and hesitating to get to the football that time is Nia Thomas. I don't know if she was quite sure what she wanted to do that time. You got to get aggressive and get after the ball, and finally she does. So Everett will have it to start this drive at their own 32-yard line. They're in the black uniforms. Portland is in the white. Everett is going from our left to right. That would be from south to north. They trail 27-0 right here on STSPN.com.
What I would tell Naya, if I was a special teams coach, is if you don't feel like you can run with it, just fall on it, because it's a live ball, so you don't want to let the other team have it. So if you're not sure of whether or not you can pick it up and run, just fall on the ball, and we'll take the ball from there.
First down and 10, from the 37-yard line. 37-yard line is where they get started. The Everett Rain, the National Football Alliance, Women's Football Alliance here, the Pacific Division, North Division, and that's going to be a loss on the play back to the 36-yard line, loss of 1 yard.
They tried to get Pelham off to the left side. It looked like maybe an inside zone, and the Portland defense just stuffed it right at the point of attack and gave her no room to run.
Loss of 1 yard, second down and 11 yards to go. Ball's at the 36-yard line. Big first half for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. 6 points in the first quarter, and they really cranked it up in the second quarter with 21, aided in part by a couple of turnovers by Everett. Everett set to go. Second and 11. Walsh in the shotgun, standing back at her own 30-yard line. Gets the player in motion right there, like, move over there, Shania Holland.
Emphatically.
Yeah, now another one getting set over on the left side. That's Jamie Lawson. Walsh does a good job directing the offense, and I know it's got to be frustrating being picked off a couple of times in the fumble. There's a completion. It goes this time to Amelia Carr out of Western Washington University. Takes it back to the 40 or up to the 40-yard line, and that is going to be enough of a gain to make it respectable for third down.
Well, there's a reason Walsh wanted those players over to the left side, because it's kind of hard to run a wide receiver screen when there's only one wide receiver over there and no one to block for her. So good job by Walsh directing traffic, making sure that her team was lined up right before calling for the snap.
Full contact football for the women here at Everett Memorial Stadium. Rain 0-2 entering today's game. Portland 3-0 atop the division. Ball between the hash marks. And play action. Here is Walsh keeping the football. Now going to go to the air. Has a receiver. And just past the outstretched fingertips of Hallman out of Edmonds Woodway High School. And that will now bring up a fourth down.
They had Holland open on a waggle to the right side. Ball is just out of reach, and even if Holland had been able to catch it, because she had to go down to the ground, it would have been short of the first down marker.
So it's fourth down, 7 yards to go. Ball was at the 40-yard line. This drive started at the 37-yard line of Everett. 13:08 left to go here in the third quarter on STSPN.com. Sun has set across the way from us, so we're able to see the field without having this big orb shining in our face. Although we don't mind that sunshine. It's nice.
I'll take it.
Two wideouts on each side. There's a high snap for the punter, and putting her foot to it is Carr. Carr is going to have it land down there on the 36, keep rolling, and now Portland's going to get the football, and the return by Nicole Villarino. Not too much on it. It's going to go back to the 33-yard line. And so Portland will start on their first drive here in the second half. Want to recap for the Everett Rain. They lost their opener. That was on April 2nd, taking place at French Field in Kent. They lost to the Seattle Majestics 34-0. And then a close loss on April 16th, a couple of weeks ago. That was a game at Southern Oregon. They lost to the Lady Renegades 20-18. They were hoping this would be closer, and who knows, as we move along, it could happen. Holly Petrie at quarterback. Penalty flag in the backfield defensively.
And the back judge is counting how many players that Everett has on defense, so that may be too many men on the field.
We got a legal substitution on the defense. Going to be 5 yards, still first down.
5-yard penalty on the illegal substitution as you hear the official. 3 penalties for 20 yards called against Everett. Referee is David Sather. Umpire is Omar Cordall. Linesman is Bob Zamora. Line judge is Scott Pattison, and the back judge is Seth Nielsen.
And now I believe Portland has called the timeout.
Portland has called a timeout, and so we'll take a timeout too. We'll be back with more as this is brought to you by Everett Physical Therapy Sports Performance Center. 12:58 left to go.
Honda of Marysville for the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage.
12:58 left to go in the third quarter. And with the football, the Portland Fighting Shockwave getting the call for the carry is Simone Shepard. And she takes it up to midfield.
And that'll be enough for a first down. They ran a little bit of a reverse on the first play of the half. Hand it off, fake the handoff up the middle, hand it to the wing back, who then hands it to Shepard. Shepard's able to get outside and up the field enough for the first down.
Let's give her 12 yards on that carry. Shepard with the carry on the football that time. First down and 10 yards to go for Portland as they're out to the 45-yard line. And getting the football this time is going to be Tess Bear. Bear to the 40, 35, and finally brought down at the 30-yard line. Great gain of 25 yards for Tess Bear of the Portland Fighting Shockwave, and another first down for Portland. Luke, we have them now for 15.
Actually, that's 16.
16.
Tardy making that mark there. Again, Bear gets the handoff up the middle. Nothing doing there, so she's bouncing to the outside, finds a lot of running room. Big gain.
First down, 10 yards to go. At quarterback is Petrie. Hands the ball off on the reverse. Getting the carry is going to be Villarino. Villarino keeps going to the 10, towards the 5. May find a way to the end zone. Not quite. Going to be knocked down, taken out of bounds. Wow, that was just a great play that kept on going from the 30-yard line. She's got the 17th first down of the game for Portland, and it looks like she was taken out at the 3-yard line. A gain of 27 yards. It's going to be first and goal for Portland. And I got to think they're going to Dawson again.
Why not? It's worked every time they've been inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal from the 3. Portland has scored 4 touchdowns in this game, 3 of them by Dawson. Simone Shepard with the other on a 94-yard interception return. And let's see here. Carrying the football, it's going to be a give to Kiki Duran. Duran is brought down short of the goal line.
Oh, they gave it to her. Did
they give her enough?
Yeah, they gave it to her.
Okay, so she gets the touchdown. Kiki Duran with the touchdown, this time scoring from 3 yards out.
Fullback dive, and again up to the left side behind Alama Toffee and Krugel, the left tackle. They got, again, great push on that side of the line into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point attempt coming up. Tess Bear. She is 3 for 3, but now they're going to switch and go with the swinging fence again and try for 2 points. They missed on their first conversion of 2 points, which is after their first touchdown. Petrie goes to the air. Player twisted around. The intended receiver was Shepard, and it's going to be an incompletion. So the extra point, no good. And it's going to stay at 33-0. Let's take a timeout with 11:35 left to go here in the third quarter. It is Portland 33 and Everett 0. And again, thanks to all of our sponsors here on STSPN.com for bringing you Everett Rain football on this Saturday night, April 30th. I don't think I've done a football game in April before. I know I've done it a couple in May. I did some public address for the Everett Raptors indoor football team back in 2012, and I know we had some games in May and June. So the kickoff, and it's going to be Everett football.
Well, like you said, I'm not even used to doing spring football as a coach in April. It's always end of May or into June, so it's different, but I'll get used to it.
First down.
Well, we got part of what the indication is there.
The kickoff went out of bounds, so it's a legal procedure, and they're gonna, because it was well short of the 35-yard line, they'll give Everett the ball where it went out of bounds at.
So we were getting some static on the referee calls, and so that has something to do with their turning. And so our technical department will be working on that for our next broadcast, I'm sure. 11:35 left to go in the third quarter.
Gives them something to do.
Give them something to do during the week, as if they don't have enough. So we have first down, 10 yards to go at the 46-yard line. Taking it is the quarterback, hands the football off, and getting the football to carry it is Jamie Lawson. Lawson to the 43-yard line.
Just went an off tackle.
Gain of 3 yards.
An off tackle lead there to Lawson. It looked like there was a hole initially, but give credit to the Portland defense for closing it off before Lawson was like much more than that.
Second down, 7 yards to go from the 43-yard line. 11:05 clock running here in the third quarter. Portland leading 33-0. The first place team, Portland at 3-0. This is their second road game. They're 2-0 at home, 1-0 on the road. Ball between the hash marks. Backs in the I formation. Wide out on each side. Handoff is to the second player through. And getting the ball, Pelham. Pelham will wrestle forward for some yards and get it to the 36-yard line. She's going to be awfully close to a first down. Picked up 7 on the carry. And they're asking them to move the chain. So that is a first down for Everett. Again, can they close the deal? They're moving the ball, and they have it at the 36 of Portland. That is first down number 8 for Everett.
And at this point, if I was the Everett coach at halftime, I'd say forget about what the scoreboard says. Let's try to win the half. And in order to win the half, you got to get a couple of touchdowns on board, obviously, to not only match what Portland just did, but then to surpass them.
It is first and 10 from the 36-yard line. Walsh with the I set formation behind her. Handoff goes to Holton. Holton gets a hole and then some to the 27-yard line. Picks up 9. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about right there.
Nice hole opened up by the left side of the Everett line on just a simple lead ISO play, but it worked there, and Holton does a good job working her way through the traffic, getting what she could, and then when she got met by tacklers, she didn't stop her feet. She kept them moving, and she didn't get taken down on the ground. She wanted to keep fighting for those extra yards.
It's going to be second down and 1 yard to go. They need to get to the 26-yard line. Can they do it?
And on second and short, really, you can call any play you want, even play action, and try to take a shot down the field.
9:13 left, third quarter. Walsh at quarterback. She really carries herself with a lot of confidence out there. Handoff goes to Lawson, and Lawson's going to lose yardage. Tackling that time is Kiki Duran.
Kiki Duran, great push up front coming from her linebacker spot. She read that play right away and just shot the gap and got into the backfield to make the tackle for loss.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up second down, make that third down, and 5 yards to go.
And this is definitely 4 down territory for Everett at this point in the game. So they don't have to get all 5 on this play, but you'd like to get at least 3 or 4.
Third down and 5. Walsh leads them up. 2 wide on the left, 1 to the right. Lone setback. Player in motion right now, that is Pelham. Now goes to an I formation. Walsh going to hang on to it. Wants to pass. Goes to the air and wrestling for the football. Great job right there. Making the catch is Shania Holland. Holland pulls it down at the 19-yard line.
You can see on the replay here, the defender who was covering Holland had her back to the ball, so she didn't see it. So Holland just reached up over the defender's head, snatched the ball out of the air, and pulled it in for the catch.
11 yards on the passing play, 7:58, clock running, left to go here in the third quarter. Ball's at the 19-yard line. 9th first down of the game for Everett. And across the way, Portland has 18, so they have twice as many. 7:43 to go as Everett coming up to the line, just trying to get on that scoreboard, get a moral victory if they can to put 6 on the board. I formation. Casey Cornist is the fullback. Walsh runs into her. Now hangs onto the football. Thought she was going to give it to the second player through, and it's going to be an incompletion to the intended receiver, Nikki Pelham.
Well, the whole timing of that play got messed up right from the start when Walsh bumped into Cornist. That just kind of got her discombobulated. And she tries to hit Pelham as an outlet receiver. Pelham was in traffic, so that really was an ill-advised pass.
And so you have a second down situation. 10 yards to go. Ball's at the 19-yard line. Here on STSPN.com, your home of the Everett Rain. The substitution made by Portland coming into the game is Victoria Lopez. That's Tilo. They call her Tilo.
Tilo.
Yeah, that's right.
So if your last name is Lopez, whatever your first name.
That's correct. Or Rodriguez, you know it's going to be a Rod at the end of it.
It's
So
Lopez,
that's the international rule since Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez came along on the scene. 7:22 left here in the third quarter. Walsh takes the snap. Oh, holds on the football. Got plenty of running room. She needs to just hang on to it and keep going. Not try to pass it. She finally, after hesitating, gets up to about the 14-yard line.
If she would not have hesitated, she just made a decision right as soon as she saw no one in front of her, just go for it. She might have been able to get the first down. As it is, it'll be about 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, a very makeable third down.
Need to get it to the 9-yard line. They're at the 14, a 5-yard gain that time for Walsh. Ball at the far hash mark, running room out to the right side of the near side of the field. One wide out on each side. I formation again. And the give, that's Jamie Lawson. Lawson isn't going to get much on that. What'd she get there?
Maybe a yard.
Maybe a yard on that one.
And Tess Bear came in from her defensive line spot, ends up making the tackle. Lawson really just kind of tried to tiptoe through there. You don't want to see that, especially on third down. Get behind your shoulder pads and run hard.
They're not even going to give her a yard. They're going to say she went down right where she started. It is 4th down and 5 yards to go. They are definitely going to go for it.
Why not?
And, yeah, absolutely. You need to make something happen here. They were so close earlier, and then there was the big interception by Simone Shepard and a 94-yard touchdown return. This time, got to use your head and not turn the ball over. Get that first down. It's definitely doable. Walsh from the shotgun. Wide receivers on each side. Now, keeps the football, goes to the air too high. That's going to go out of bounds. She was intending for Bolton, and it'll turn the football over. Back to Portland it goes, turned over on downs with 5:21 left here in the third quarter.
I almost thought for a second Everett was trying to set up a screen, but the offensive linemen, they weren't trying to get out to one side or the other for a screen. They just got beat badly and forced Walsh to her left. She had receivers open, but she was just under too much duress to make an accurate throw.
Portland will get the football back. 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. At center is Jenna Castro out of Evergreen. Long count, wideouts on each side, backs in the split formation. Getting the football is Rebecca Dawson up to the 25-30, stepped out of bounds just past the 30-yard line. Looks at about the 32-yard line, so let's give her a gain of 18 yards on the play.
It's a simple outside zone play to the left side. Tess Bear, the tight end, does a good job of sealing the edge, allowing Dawson to get outside and get up the field.
Another first down for Portland. That would be 19 for them in the game. with 5:03 and the clock running left in the third quarter. Mark Aucutt, Luke Winsor here bringing you the action from Everett Memorial Stadium in Everett, Washington on STSPN.com. Slow handoff, to say the least, right there.
I think Petrie wanted to keep it herself for the option, but looked like the fullback, who was it?
Tess Bear.
Tess Bear. She won the ball herself, so there was a no, I want it going on, and ultimately Bear won out.
So that brings up now a second down and 10 yards to go for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. Just looking ahead on the schedule, next week, Luke will be doing color, and that's going to be right here, the Seattle Majestics and the Everett Rain, taking place here. Starting time here at Everett Memorial Stadium. God, Rebecca Dawson is just tenacious out there.
She does run hard.
She got 11 yards on that carry and a first down.
And we have looks like an injured Everett player.
Seen a lot of that tonight, a lot of Everett players hitting the deck. So for Everett, after next week, then they are going to be playing against the Portland Fighting Shockwave down there in Portland and Hillsboro. That is on May 14th, May 21st at Tacoma. And then the final two games of the regular season are back here at Everett Memorial Stadium. May 28th, they will host Southern Oregon. And then on June 4th, they will host Tacoma. Boy, poor Everett, just getting banged up in this game.
And they had 10 players on injured reserve going into the game. So, depth was definitely an issue. And so every injury just makes the depth that much worse. So they may even be having some players playing out of position now to cover for the injured players.
Yeah, and that, of course, puts them at a disadvantage dealing with these teams. At Portland, I can't recall them having in this game any players go down to this degree. And they just keep shuffling players in and out, and they have a good deep bench over there.
Yes, they do, and they seem to have Everett outmatched on size and depth and experience, and it's definitely showing tonight.
Also, you have Portland with the now point-wise up to 151 scored and just 11 allowed for the year. Looking at their schedule, they will be hosting Tacoma next Saturday, and then they have Everett on the 14th, and then they're at Tacoma on the 28th of May and close out the regular season host at Seattle at French Field on June 4th. First down, 10 yards to go for Portland at the 43-yard line. Petrie drops back, got a completion, and not much to go and do there.
Try to get Villariano just on a little spot pass. On the last possession, Villariano showed some good, escapability running with the ball. So they're going to just get her in space and see what she can do.
Second down, and let's see here. 9 yards to go. 2nd and 9. 3:23, and the clock is going here in the third quarter. Thanks for joining us here this evening, and wow, what a great way to lead into May. This has been an amazing month weather-wise. Yeah, we've had some rain in there, but some incredible hot days. A record hot. It got into the high 80s.
2 or 3 record days.
Yeah, 2 or 3 record days into the high 80s. And I know similar weather down there in Portland too. This time it's Dawson, and Dawson's got it up to midfield. Let's take a look and see where she's at yardage-wise once she got that one. And that carry for her was for 7 yards, or 6 yards. So let's take a look and see exactly what she has. All right, taking it, and now has 13 carries for 113 yards.
That's a pretty decent night.
And
so
3
far.
touchdowns.
And 3 touchdowns.
Big night for Rebecca Dawson. 2:25 left in the third quarter. 33-0. Portland on top, as you see on your screen. Play fake. Pitch. It's Dawson again to the 45-40, 35, and knocked out of bounds just before the 30-yard line. 20-yard gain, now 133 yards for her. Big, big game for Rebecca Dawson.
Portland that time running the triple option. Petrie fakes the give to the fullback on the dive. Takes it and then decides to pitch it, which is the right decision if it's a 20-yard gain to the pitchback, in this case being Dawson, and Dawson just adds to our already big night.
Well, coming into the game, the stats show on the website as 30 carries for 209 yards. It almost seems a little low with how she's played. But so you take and add on to that, she's approaching 350 yards for the season and has scored 6 touchdowns.
Did she get hurt?
First and 10, that could have been. First and 10 from the 30-yard line. And they go to the air. That's going to be a beautiful completion right there. Making the catch is Nicole Villarino. Wow, what a great play that was. First down.
A beautiful play there, a pump and go. Villarino runs a little hitch route, pump fake to her. She peels off, gets upfield, the corner bit. Beautiful pass by Petrie as well, on target. And Villarino did everything but score.
Okay, so we have the ball once again inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line. That is a 29-yard passing play and a first down for Portland. They just keep racking them up. Luke is, 23 first downs?
23.
All right, they're knocking on the door. First and goal from the 1. Petrie going to keep the football. Almost brought down, gets out of it, now tripped up. Right there to knock her down was Casey Cornist.
So they tried to run the option again. Petrie
No gain or loss on the yard play.
Petrie should have pitched it to Dawson, who I think could have walked in the end zone. She tried to keep it herself and paid the price. Casey Cornist was able to trip her up. Big loss.
And that time it's a loss of 11 yards for Petrie, and it brings up second and goal from the 12-yard line. 33 seconds left in the third quarter, so they have a little further to try to punch it in from.
Unless they score, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Portland has scored once here in the quarter, just like in the first quarter, but they scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. Dawson gets the ball to the 10, the 5, easily into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebecca Dawson. One more time, her 4th touchdown of the game, this time from 12 yards out, and just keeps racking up that yardage as she's approaching 150 yards for the game.
Then they gave it to Dawson on an outside zone. And again, Tess Barrett has done a great job on those plays, sealing the edge. And that time, Dawson was really just able to kind of trot into the end zone. She didn't exactly walk in, but she didn't have to go in full speed either.
Well, they went for 2 points last time with a 33-0 lead. And we'll see if they decide to go for the extra point on the kick this time. Tess Barrett is a perfect 3 for 3 on extra point attempts. They're going to go for 2. They must be working on something there.
I figure they might have tougher opponents later in the season. They want to work on some stuff.
Oh, loses the football. And they're not going to get 2 points out of that as it becomes a scrum at about the 18-yard line. And that's that. So it's going to stay at 39-0. 14 seconds left in the third quarter here on STSPN. We'll keep it right here, and coming up soon we'll have the quarter break.
That time they've tried to run a little counter pass. But again, Petrie, the quarterback, just lost the ball. And very fortunate that Everett didn't pick it up, because I think they can, on a 2-point conversion, pick up a fumble, return an interception back for 2 points themselves.
Another big scoring play for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. And they're shocking Everett here tonight, that's for sure. Boy, big one. Obviously, we're looking to see Everett trying to put some points on the board. Now, for Portland, they have scored 40 points in a game. That was April 16th. And then last week, against the Southern Oregon Lady Renegades, they put 49 on the scoreboard, a 49-3 win. 2 weeks ago, it was a 40-0 win over the Seattle Majestics. So this team, no stranger to scoring a lot of points.
And the score over the Majestics is shocking, because the Majestics, they look pretty good too when I saw them in the opener against Everett. So I think we are looking at the class of the division in Portland.
Seattle Majestics 3-1 this season. Definitely no slouch right there. 2-0 at home, 1-1 on the road. That one lost to Portland. Then you have Tacoma coming in at 1-2, Southern Oregon at 1-3, and then the Reign at 0-2. Looking for that first win, maybe next week against the Seattle Majestics, and we'll have that game right here, 6 o'clock on STSPN.com. Kickoff. One of the deep men going to think about it and then finally get to it, and it's taken off a couple of bounces by Holton. Holton goes down at the 30-yard line.
Looked like she was expecting the ball to bounce to her, but just kind of bounced in place instead, and she hesitated a little bit, and that cost her getting a few yards up the field.
So Everett will get one play, 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's turned out to be a pretty long game. It's going to definitely go the pace of around 3 hours, that's for sure.
And hopefully for Everett, they can get something going on not just on this play, but in the fourth quarter, so they can kind of feel better about themselves going into their game next week in Seattle.
So true. They have 18 points scored for the season. That was against Southern Oregon in a 20-18 loss. Otherwise, shut out in the other game against the Seattle Majestics. So now is the time. And they've pieced together a couple, 3 solid drives in this game. It just that when they get right towards the end, they've made some mistakes or turn it over on downs. Here we go. Play action. Walsh going to. Ooh, that was ugly. Loses the football at the end, and it may be Portland ball after all that is taken apart. Tess Bear coming through. I think Everett was able to get the football back, but geez, tough loss there. That's a loss of 9 yards for the quarterback.
Tess Bear came in unblocked, and then she really jumped on Walsh's back there. And I think she was trying to force the ball. She did. Fortunately for Everett, they were able to recover, but that was a vicious hit by Bear.
Set to go with the end of the quarter now. That's going to be it. The time runs out, and so we're going to be going to the fourth quarter. Our score in the game is 39-0. Everett is trailing Portland here. Going to the fourth quarter, Everett Rain football on STSPN.com.
Into Honda of Marysville for the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Experience the new 2016 Honda Civic Sedan CVT LX with a fierce new look and state-of-the-art standard technology like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth connectivity. The Civic has never looked better. Check out the latest offer and save big. Take the 2016 Honda Accord Sedan i4 CVT LX for a spin. You'll fall in love with the luxurious interior, clean exterior, and enough awards to make your head spin. Test drive one today and save with this exceptional offer. Drive away in a 5-star safety-rated 2016 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive SE and enjoy great fuel economy, a refined interior, and storage galore. Check out the latest offer and save big. Visit us and explore our huge inventory of quality Honda models or view all current offers at hondaofmarysville.com. Our goal is to ensure that our customers are satisfied not only at the time of purchase, but as long as they own their vehicle. When you do business with Honda of Marysville, life gets better.
We are back live at Everett Memorial Stadium heading to the fourth quarter. I'm Mark Aucutt with Luke Winsor on STSPN.com. 39-0 is our score. And a pass completion. Nikki Pelham makes the catch. And a penalty flag right in front of us, too.
Usually it could be offsides or could be illegal formation by Everett. On that play, they just hit Pelham on a little hitch route, just trying to get something going on second down.
Taking a look at the scoring by quarters.
We got encroachment. Defense. Repeat second down.
Encroachment by the defense, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. They are 8 penalties for 58 yards. Everett 3 penalties, 20 yards. Scoring by quarters, Portland was 6 in the first, 21 in the second, and 12 in the third. Adds up to 39. Everett goose eggs across the board at this point. 14:50 to go, fourth quarter. And Everett, once again, trying to get on the scoreboard. At quarterback, Michelle Walsh out of Minot State University. I formation. Pitches it back, and let's see if she can elude the tackler. That's Brooklyn Holton. Moves the football almost back to the original line of scrimmage, and then finally knocked out of bounds, or taken to the ground there at, looks like the 33-yard line. Well, that'll work.
Erin Miller, the corner for Portland, had a chance for a big tackle for loss. Couldn't bring her down. You have to give Holton a lot of credit. She's still running hard. She's not giving up. She fought through multiple tacklers on that play to get positive yardage and set up a very makeable third down.
7 yards on the carry up to the 33-yard line. Third down and about 7 yards to go. They have 3rd and 8 on the score. There we go. They correct it now. 3rd and 7. Now that sun has gone down, Luke, so you know what that means. It's going to start getting cold. That's what happens here. I've called many a games on either side of this facility. A lot of great memories, though.
My memories of this place are mixed.
Most of your time was over on this side, though. Keeping the football is Walsh. Running east to west, and the incompletion that was intended for Shania Holland.
I think Tess Baird, again, got her hand on that pass to deflect it. But again, good pressure by Bear and the rest of the Portland defensive line on Walsh. And even if Holland had been able to catch that pass, she was well short of the first down marker.
13:21 left, fourth quarter. 39-0, Portland on top, and they're about to get the football back as Everett is going into punt formation, and a deep person back there for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. That is Nicole Villarino out of Southern Oregon University. Back to punt for Everett will be Amelia Carr from Western Washington University. A lot of these players have run into each other in the college years, too. Got some GNAC players out there and a couple of Pac-12 players sprinkled in, and community college players. There's a penalty flag, and just kind of wondering what the delay was out there.
Everett was not lined up right. Looked like Casey Cornish was trying to figure out where she was supposed to be lined up. She's getting told probably multiple things by different players and delay a game. So
go ahead.
They'll back up Everett another 5 yards.
13:21 left to go in the fourth quarter. And we're going to get the punt coming up. Yeah, it's going to be landing down there at the 45 to the 40 and finally rolls inside the 33-yard line. You know, the thing is, we talk about these players being familiar with each other, having, from different colleges. There is different exchanges that go on that you will see. Maybe there is no college football for the women, but they definitely may have run into each other at times as spectators, going to different games, supporting different games in the different conferences around the area, and that might have led to them and playing other sports, and that might have led to them building up relationships to say, hey, you want to go and play for this team now?
Yeah.
And it does happen.
So I would think a lot of the tryouts for these teams are word of mouth of, hey, I know someone that might be good.
Yeah, it's a good athlete.
Yeah.
And they are good athletes. So some might be tennis players or volleyball players, basketball, soccer players, things along those lines. There's a pass that's complete to Simone Shepard. It came from the 33-yard line up to about the 42, so a gain of 9 yards.
They hit Shepard on just on a drag route, bring her in front of the linebackers across the middle. Nice little pitch and catch there for solid completion on first down.
You look at the Women's Football Alliance, and there are a lot of teams spread out through the country. In the Pacific region, there are 5 divisions. You have the Pacific North Division, Mountain West Division, Pacific South Division, Great Plains Division, Southwest Division. And there's still another conference, which would be the National Conference. There's Rebecca Dawson. She has just been a force in this game. Out to midfield. She keeps getting the job done. Takes it from the 42-yard line to the 45 of Everett. That is a gain of 13 yards. Just about every major market in the United States has a football team in the Women's Football Alliance. You look across the way to the that would be the southeast region or the different regions over there, and there's so 5 in each. That encompasses a lot of cities. Dropping back is the quarterback, Petrie. Completion! Look at that. Right there is Villarino. She's quietly putting together a strong game.
Not well thrown ball by Petrie. Little play action pass. And then Villarino just gets behind the linebacker, Pelham, and then finds that hole in the zone between the linebacker and the safety. Well thrown ball. Nice pitch and catch. First down for Portland.
16 yards on the gain, and Portland moving the ball again. 11:39 in the quarter to go here in the fourth. No team, or there's one division that has 6 teams in it. The most usually is 5 teams in the divisions, like what takes place here in the Pacific North Division. Not much to happen right there.
Good solid play by the Everett front 7 that time. Stopping the fullback dive. Looked to bear for only about a couple of yards.
And really a 39-0 lead. You don't want to pile it on, but Portland also has to stay sharp. They want to be ready for their next matchup.
They're at a point in the standings where they really need to start thinking about, again, staying sharp and working on some things that they feel like they need to get better on. And they're taking advantage of doing that on game conditions.
2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. Ball is at the 27-yard line. Running room out to the right side. Petrie goes to the air and just threads the needle brilliantly to Simone Shepard. Shepard keeps going into the end zone, and she has a touchdown. Simone Shepard has now scored one both offensively and defensively here with 10:27 left in the fourth quarter. And that's the first pass touchdown for Portland in this game.
Good, well thrown ball by Petrie that time. They ran a play where it looked like they're a little bit of a half roll to the right. Shepard runs a backside post route, and Petrie sees her open, threads the needle. Good catch by Shepard, and then she's able to break a couple tackles and fight her way to the end zone.
They will go for the extra point, and we're always checking to see. They do still like to go with 2 late in the game, and they're going to have a timeout over there. That timeout is called by Portland. They've actually used 2 timeouts here in the second half, and they have the 45-0 lead. Let's take a timeout, and brought to you by Marysville Honda. Tell you what, we have some great pictures we're watching here, and as you see it, viewers, on that tremendous drone coverage by our CEO of STSPN.com, Todd Elvig. There's a pass complete for the 2-point conversion. How about that? They snuck that one in there. Now that is good. Making the catch that time, Casey Hilton. High school. How about it is Twilight, too. Isn't that where Twilight? Yeah, that's where it's filmed. So it's going to be 47-0. Casey Hilton sneaking through there and getting the 2-point on the pass from Petrie.
I think that's the play they wanted to run in their last 2-point attempt, but the Petrie fumbled the snap. They faked the counter tray and then sneaked the tight end out the backside into the flat. Easy pitch and catch for the 2-point conversion. And I'm not going to go there on the Twilight remark.
So Portland, with 10:27 left to go in the fourth quarter, up 47-0.
I think they have it in the bag.
I think this one is going to go as a win for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. They're definitely shooting a shockwave through here. I was looking at the league and the different cities. A lot of major cities represented in the United States: Seattle, Portland, Everett, Denver, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, St. Louis, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Boston, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, Orlando. A lot involved in the league here in the 2 different conferences, the American and the National. Faithful for the Everett rain out here tonight. No rain in the forecast, though. Kickoff. 40-yard line is where Everett will take it. Casey Cornist. Cornist pushing forward across midfield. Strong second and third effort to the 47-yard line.
And you'd have to give the Everett players a lot of credit. They're really not showing any quit. They're playing with a lot of heart. They're just, unfortunately, they're just overmatched tonight. And it's no fault of their own, but they're playing hard.
Yeah, like you say, overmatched is a good word for it. And we knew coming in that Portland was a tough team, but and they've definitely shown it tonight.
They've shown why they're in first place in the division and could be a serious threat come playoff time for the other teams in the league.
I was looking at some of these teams in the league. There is the Sin City Trojans out of Henderson, Nevada. Sin City. How about
I'm
that?
not touching that.
Oh, come on now. It's just some of the unique nicknames and team names in the Women's Football Alliance. Okay, Everett Rain with the football. 1st and 10, the 46-yard line of Portland. We can be homers and say, doggone it, I wish they'd score on this drive. We've been pulling for them to try to at least get in the end zone, and that's going to be an incomplete pass by Walsh. Yeah, it gets to the point where you go, can we just go down there and do whatever we can to help out? You know, but we're
Let me drop a couple plays in the dirt.
yeah.
I know a few.
We can drop a couple passes for them. I know that.
Little inside wheel or
Oh, you know, quite a few plays there.
hook and ladder maybe. I don't know.
First down and make that second down, 10 yards to go.
Or if you ever seen the movie The Little Giants, the annexation of Puerto Rico.
2nd and 10 from the 46. Still 10-14 left to go in the fourth quarter. Walsh has gone the distance at quarterback. From the eye. And the handoff goes to Lawson. Lawson to the 45-yard line. Picks up 1 yard on the play. At the end of this game, we will take a look at scoring by quarters, and then we'll have a rundown of the statistics from this game. And just, Luke, why don't you share with how the teams have done on 3rd and 4th down conversions?
Well, Portland hasn't had many third downs because they've been doing so well in 1st and 2nd down, but they are 3 of 5 on 3rd down, 1 for 1 on 4th down. Everett, this will be their 12th 3rd down that they've attempted. So far, they are 3 of 11 on 3rd down, 1 out of 4 on 4th down.
Rain talking it over from center. 9:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Walsh in the shotgun, 2 wide on each side. Got to run out of pressure on and keeps going. Got to get rid of that ball. She's out of the pocket. Just tosses it away so she doesn't take the big loss. It got within about 5 yards of Shania Holland.
I think they were actually trying to set up a screen to Nikki Pelham, but the pressure was just so quickly right in her face. She couldn't see Pelham, and she's just running for her life back there.
You know, one of my favorite names in the Women's Football Alliance has to be the Atlanta Phoenix, where they were able to get 2 city names in together. I like that one, the Atlanta Phoenix.
You've heard of people with 2 first names? Well, that's a team.
That's right.
2 first names.
So, yeah, you've got some interesting ones out there. The West Coast Lightning. The Arlington Impact. I like this one, the Flint City Riveters. How about the DC Divas? That'd be a team you don't. DC Divas, right?
Nah.
No. Okay, 4th down, 9 yards to go from the 45-yard line. Everett says, of course we're going for it. In the air. Get under that thing. Oh, it's going to be – is it going to be picked off? I think she did hang on to it. It's almost taken away. And the pick by Aaron Miller from Warner Pacific College in Portland. It's going back to Portland. That is the 3rd interception in this game.
You have to credit Everett for trying. They just sent all 4 receivers vertical down the field. The ball just kind of hung up in the air too long, and Miller was able to come off of the receiver that she was covering and go get the ball, make the interception.
So Portland takes the ball now at the 29-yard line. They have had all the interceptions. They recovered the 1 fumble, so Everett has turned the ball over 4 times in this game, and it has cost them dearly. Flags. Everett just made it look like a late substitution.
Illegal substitution.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there too many people out there?
Yes.
Yeah, there are. I was going, man, there's a lot of Everett players out there. It looks like there was 12 out there. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
They need all the help they can get. Maybe they're going to try to petition to play with 12.
Yeah. At this point, they probably did petition to go to 15.
Well, my old defensive coordinator, he one time woke up in the middle of the night, great defense, drew it up, then he counted all the players. There was 12. He realized he couldn't go with it.
Going to move the ball out 5 yards. Looks like at the 33-yard line. Handoff goes to Bear out of Pace University. Pretty close. Yeah, I was going to say just a little bit shy of the first down.
It's going to get 4 there because it was 1st and 5 because of the penalty.
8:10 to go in the fourth quarter.
Do they give it to Dawson to try to get her up to 200 yards? That's the question.
Could very well happen with the great game that she has had. There it is. Dawson again keeps going and finally crosses the 45-yard line, taking it from just inside the 33 or the 37 to the 47. Looks like about 10 yards on the carry. And so she will have a first down. What are we up to for Portland on first downs now?
They're at 28.
28 first downs. And how much does Everett have?
9.
Okay.
That tells you, that's a stat that really tells you everything you need to know about this game.
Yeah, it sure does.
And the 4 turnovers.
A 3-to-1 first down ratio in the favor of the Portland Fighting Shockwave. 1st and 10 from the 47 of Portland. There's Rebecca Dawson again to the 50, 45, 40, 35, and goes down inside the 35-yard line. Great gain that time.
Then they ran a counter trade to the left side, and normally counter trades, the plays designed for the running back to cut up more inside, but instead she bounced it out, found a lot of running room.
20 yards on the play. Let me check and see how many yards she has in this game. It's been a huge game, and we have her at 18 carries for 188 yards, knocking on the 200-yard door. And she came into the game with 209 unofficially.
The way she's running, I think she had to have gotten hurt or missed a game.
Yeah. She just gets the job done time and time again. That is Rebecca Dawson, 5'6", 150 pounds, out of Clark College. Getting the ball this time is Villarino.
And around there is a flag down.
There is a flag.
Blocking the back.
Blocking the back called against Everett, or against Portland.
And the thing that's impressed me with Dawson is she's been running just as hard now in the fourth quarter as she is in the first.
Blocking the back on the offense. Repeat first down.
Just like the NFL, just like, it's something you'd see on Fox or CBS with the official being mic'd up. Just another part of the cutting-edge technology of STSPN.com.
We do it big. We do it big.
That's right. Yeah, great job. It was fun, too, being involved in the NWAC basketball tournament that took place at Everett Community College, and 2 more years at least of that tournament being there and being with STSPN.com. We're looking forward to it. That takes it back 5 yards. It's 1st and 14. There's Wallace again, or Dawson again. Dawson to the 45, 30 penalty flares, flags all over the place.
It's going to be a hold against Portland on a
pretty easy to see that one.
A 2-point takedown. There's some of my wrestling background as well.
And Dawson's going
right in the middle of the screen. If you're watching the replay, that was very obvious.
Yeah, Dawson's going, wait a minute here. I want to get those 200 yards.
Hold it on the offense. We'll repeat first down.
Okay, they sort that out. We're getting a good amount of static coming through there. So it's going to take the ball back, 10 yards here, and we have it at the 43-yard line.
And now Dawson's out of the game, so she can't get those 12 yards she needs on this play.
First down and a long ways to go. Let's see where they need to get to. They need to get to the 23-yard line. First and 20 from the 43-yard line. 5:32 and the clock running to go here in the fourth quarter. Well, she keeps fighting for some extra yardage there.
That different running back.
Yeah, they try something different there, and that is Nikia Asanirov.
And again, good push from the offensive line. And Asanirov was able to get plenty of yardage before contact. So you have to give a lot of the credit to the Portland offensive line for with the work they've been able to do on the ground tonight.
Now 4:50 to go in the quarter. This fourth quarter kind of picking up steam with the clock moving along a little faster as we were on about a 3-hour pace, and it's kind of going to end a little bit before that. These games with the same time on the clock for each quarter at 15 minutes, so give them full credit for that too.
Yeah.
Second down, 12 yards to go. Ball's at the 35-yard line. Getting the ball and shut down right away is Tess Bear. Good tackle. That was Brooklyn Holton in her 4th year in the league.
Holton coming up from her safety spot to the line of scrimmage, able to sniff out that fullback dive. Good solid tackle on Bear, who's had a good night around playing both offense and defense. So a lot of players from Portland have really contributed tonight.
Third down, 13 yards to go from the 35-yard line. Leading the charges up to the line is Jenna Castro. She's worked hard. She's been out there all night long, number 69 for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. If you're Portland, you're basically just running this out. I guess you look at it as a free time to do some scrimmaging and practicing out there.
In game situation.
Yeah, in game situation, and just do what you can to try some things out.
Even have their backup quarterback in now, number 13. I believe they have the backup quarterback in.
Yeah, that is Diana Neiman. She is a rookie out of Iowa State University, a Cyclone. So Diana Neiman is out there now. 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You see the score, 47-0. Portland is leading Everett here on STSPN.com. Make a switch there. There, they get the play actually brought in from Neiman. 5'7", 150 pounds. But you look down, up and down this Portland roster, there's just a lot of veteran players out there.
And that experience is one of the things that really showed in this game.
Handoff. This time goes to Asanirov. And that's going to bring up fourth down.
No, it was fourth down.
Oh, it was fourth down. Excuse me. Shania Holland. So that'll turn the ball over to Everett. They get it back. Show the defensive lineup for the Everett Range. Let's give them credit for doing whatever they could to hang in there and get the job done tonight. And again, 47-0 the score, but they've also tried to make some big plays out there to help out their teammates to get their offense back on the field.
And if that was their last time out on the field, it was a good way to go out, get a stop on a fourth down play.
2:18 to go in the fourth quarter. A 47-0 lead. Let's see what Everett can do if they can finally find a way to crack that end zone and score 6 points. Mark Aucutt along with Luke Winsor here at Everett Memorial Stadium. Shotgun formation, 3 wide left, 1 to the right, and the pass is going to be complete. That's going to go to Noor Al-Tamimi.
We tried the wide receiver screen to Noor Al-Tamimi again. This time Portland does a much better job defending it, and they really get her for no gain.
that's just been the story, unfortunately, for the Everett Rain throughout this game.
Twice they had chances. They got inside the red zone against Portland. Once they turned over down, the interception. And just how different could this game have been if that interception doesn't happen?
Yeah, it would have cut it at that point to 13-6. Maybe they get the extra point, and then you never know.
Yeah, you just never know how one play can be the difference between a close game or a blowout.
And I remember saying just before that, you've got to hang on to the football. I mean, and that a lot of times goes without saying, but still, it's something that you can't make a mistake like that, and it was just put in the breadbasket of Simone Shepard. And we have 1:10 to go in the fourth quarter.
Like I said, they just try to get Nikki Pell on the ball off tackle. Again, even though I think Portland's starting to get a lot more of their backups in the game, they're still wanting to play at a high level and keep the shutout.
They'd be looking at picking up another shutout for their season to run their record to 4-0. And that would take them to 2-0 on the road to go with 2-0 at home.
And it's not going to get much easier for Everett next week because the Majestic shut them out 34-0 in their opener. So they're getting the two best teams in the league back-to-back weeks.
So far this season, Portland has pitched one shutout. That was a 40-0 win over the Majestics on April 16th. Oh, carrying the football. That's something good. Brooklyn Holton out to the 45-yard line on third down, picks up a little over 10. Maybe they'll give her 11 on this, so she's going to get a first down. Again, we'll take a quick look at the statistics after the game here.
Nice run for Holton there. Started left, cut back to the right, found some running room, moves the chains.
10 seconds left in the game, 47-0. Portland, they're going to come away with the victory to improve to 4-0. Unfortunately for the Rain, they will drop to 0-3.
And Everett doesn't.
And time has run out. That is the end of the fourth quarter and the end of the game. Again, our final score, 47-0. A big win for the Portland Fighting Shockwave. They score 8 points in the final quarter and shut Everett out the entire way. And you look at the team scoring totals there, and it is 165 points now scored by Portland, and they've just allowed 11.
That's video game numbers when you're.
Oh man!
When you're playing dynasty mode on some football game on a video game, and you have it set to the easiest level.
Luke, why don't you go ahead and take a look at the numbers there from you on the conversions and first downs.
Well, for Portland on third down, they were 3 out of 6, down 1 for 2, but they still came away with 29 first downs, which shows how well they were running the ball on first and second down. For Everett, they were 4-13 on third down, 1 out of 5 on fourth down with 10 first downs. Excuse me. Really one of the stats of the game, Portland outdid Everett on first downs at almost a 3-1 clip.
Yeah, and just looking at the numbers here in the game for both teams, for Portland on the ground, they just had an incredible game. 303 yards rushing and 108 yards passing for 411 total yards. And we take a look here and see 18 carries for Rebecca Dawson, 188 yards. She scored in this game a total of 4 touchdowns. Just a big force for them. Kiki Duran with 4 carries for 38 yards. And then in passing, it was Holly Petrie coming through with a 7 for 11 performance. So that's high percentage right there. 108 yards in passing. Simone Shepard, 3 receptions for 43 yards. Nicole Villarino, 2 receptions for 45 yards. And that sums it up for how they did in this game. And for the Everett Rain, in rushing, they were led of the 6 carries for 34 yards by Brooklyn Holton, make that 39 yards for Brooklyn Holton. And then in passing, it was Michelle Walsh, 7 for 22, 46 yards. Her top target was Shania Holland, 3 receptions for 22 yards in the game. But obviously a tough night for the Everett Rain as they dropped to 0-3. and Portland improves to 4-0. Portland next week will host the Tacoma Trauma. That will be at Hillsboro Stadium down in Hillsboro, Oregon. And for Everett, they will host the Seattle Majestics next week right here at Everett Memorial Stadium. Luke, you'll be involved in that broadcast. I'll be on assignment doing something else that night. And so, we'll see if Everett can bounce back and beat the Seattle Majestics. The Majestics playing tonight, as a matter of fact. And tonight they are hosting the Southern Oregon Lady Renegades.
But next week will be interesting for Everett. They played Seattle in their opener, lost 3-0. So it'll be a good measure to see just the improvement that they've made from week 1 to next week. Can they give Seattle a game? Because against the two top teams in the league, they've been shut out and given up a little over 80 points. So again, we get a second chance at one of those teams and see what kind of improvements they've made and just the progress that they need to make if they want to get it to the level of Seattle or Portland.
Sounds good. That's Luke Winsor. I'm Mark Aucutt. Thanks to Debbie Larson on statistics. Also Todd, Josh, and the other Elvick that was here. We had 3 of Jacob Elvick. There we go.
Sorry, Jacob.
And so thank you so much. We appreciate all your help on that. And so we look forward to our next broadcast coming up next Saturday. That will be at 6 o'clock right here. Luke, you'll be involved in that doing color, and that will be the Seattle Majestics and the Evergreen Nothing. We'll talk to you again next time. Take care, everybody, and keep it on STSPN.com as they are the official broadcast partner of the Evergreen and the Seattle Majestics. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.